Nere mala ken yamka nas diatin kontin barwais ni liangwaseme kan Nuer online TV channel and mandu ni chankon yamle ya nong roi na gwaseme an wale shanka jan dangro de bangman ka pai badda ron kina dangro de jan dangro de dich bana right katin kontin tuoketen lat korodian gwaseme ne te kon kalori to want to be kon kaling to gorliang ano ka rudian ka breaking news ni no tin kon lat korodian Joban linke niam gwaseme bela dung couple tishanak ke jidware anak ne itimo ran ken shigda den bana jom bana jalinka do bana to keja reilar kana mane jo shalat gwaseme shalat ne sha wood ken shigda wa sha kan kare dwara shal ke tambura ka western equatoria wa ken nakare dwarian ken chakan nak arami mo mijal kamai karam mo wakana kon ngach wa chakan nak dorian enshal ke tambura county ka western equatoria state ke Wednesday ka war the local official chikan jo mo chikan lat Thomas Badaisa Sigini Ramdan acting paramon ke kwar ka tambura wajen Ramdan shanak cheshola no shala headwat gibondo ramamoni a member ka zande itani group la dor chalke zande ni ram kelten jen kan shigde mishala dal Elizabeth chakanak belende ala wude me ran zande ka shigde belende ngai kona re wishin wina mi ti tare wanti kiten kam jori ki kam dur dangro titini chipto matcha jomo chejelat ke Thursday eno nene Ramadan nagran ke tawal kel ke naga tawal kel PM president dien dorm chalga baburu vuma shela do en shuale kuma state ken national government no de ken tambura de gadan ci tok tende ken investigate ke de kan ta dan ci na liu ke je de kan tar de ken gor ko de mal der bere wishin winimi ci badisa ci jelat ajenen tamne de wan chuch ken long jene innocent civilian kana na ka lora bang ne de kontre which ka do mo china de liu kaje ci badisa ci la do ne jene en reak ka tambura jene telerek antam ci mal ci ko be re wishin winami charam dan en ne ko ne anak wa cha kanang jukuma wa shek cha logo no coin ka jene tin kontla ji doaren no duno chana ka police station local resident chikala wonene jen kenen tama dol na longa ta dan len ngaru din keje ko la na mala na kan shang ken situation wona jen ke je kare wishin wina mi ka tambura bani ngajen wonene western equatoria state ngai konen woti tu wantiktin te bon to wantika dor re wishin wina mi to kuma spela yo te dor to kuma naste dor re wishin wina mi ban mala to ga men kuma SSP updaten ba do belu na ga jame wa liam di de long ko rando ban dor be benak right now de jogo ne ko kon to re wishin mi ka tambura la do dangro nyin ka karodin ti jala azande ne kan belende ne teken kari kam ne ken so chay ngaji no wood point de wa rana azande ka shega belende so Ramadan de nak dong ken dur tone ke koy kuma to ko ken cha ka sias ke cha mu ke politik so ne karodin ko de tana du chung ka kume ga tana di chung ka kume che ga do bra na cha no re cha ka da ka je ano te ga nuare te ka kir ka nuare chi te ka kir so na mabare wichin ginami lare rode ring mudid mi tina tama no ka jo chalat gwaz me chalat wo shire ga mo chora lat are weidien chane dangro shakan na kare dwaren ler dien ban len gwaz me chalat wo ne chane di chuk baro shaka pech no ka chaw de kel cha de nak are wich mo dien mishal ke meridi ban jo me ban je linkel ko do bran je to ko je chala de wone ne sha ne dang baro sha ka pech karam kel mishanak no kene de konti la silent kene de kontin chana bungur wa ken ci kene dang baro ci kene kevne de la civilian ka ci kan ran kume la ran SSPDF ci kene nak no ke chankan wan ka jok wari ga mo to kurun wan kam daro shal ke meridi kanti ko western equatoria state bane Alfred Meri the Meridi County Commissioner chejo mo chejila de wonene ajene ne to ngwandwal na re wich jen to go dor shalke Landmora area ajene ba 9 mile from Meridi town jela de wonene akene den konti nakana ketin tinaka de kel ka kapune sho bara wachi kana chicken ka bush da dop gwad mo chu kor chu to Cambian ka Sudan People Defense Forces wa chu kor mi tuok Canadian contin wa china chicken kep wa chikering redwar ki chikering kabush ka chicken dang baro to chicken nang Carodian wa chicken de kelke de SSPD ap chicken nak gwam chicken nga maktin wa karam kel mi chamu ke bon medit chire ko ma chotore wichin winemi gwegejen wo badera la kume SPLA yo kenas donga Canadian contin mark kume SSPDF redwar wano ajan chala de wo chade kel chajan nagran SSPDF eno kane dang barot la civilian ki gali ti shakep kwala kujino mekane de ti donka government official kana kola de go Paramount Chief Win Michelle Daniel James Bakindo chala de no chire mushire mo chatwok ajan contin shakep kene ke ngani ki use no kane de kap kane te ka fam lo tikare kaka den gwada wa kinaptin kene tone kene content kap na kene group ke bon me jel kel ka jel kan kamech kandial je jomo che jelat chol kana do ne chol ken ngane kon lar ka tishit ka to ko wane kon kap na be wa ke ngane bane ka jodan ji ken lat gwasame ku ken lar do ne gore jeno kene kon ngane chicken che mane ken ne kon let re kana chicken ga diamek My appeal to the users to stop taking up army against their own people. Bakindo say, this attack disrupt farming and put families at risk. We must resolve our differences peacefully. Jom chirena mem lingeneme. Ngai kon no gwan me ko tini chiang chagwa china chicken settle. A man for cannibal adaka bo cause medong to kumeten kuma ko na jogo no ta ne kel no katene ko ke jiken kanok so na mo jaga koroko bigetede bigeten Western Equatorial State Police Commissioner Major General Philip Madutong chala do nene ajene one women remain among the missing ajene shekel ngode jor kanajek he says security forces are continuing search and rescue operation wacha de chaka jagre within winimire duar ko be kanete konen ana chaka kef ko bom biken ko gor shika jo mo chicken lat banje ngajen go nene re which ka Western Equatorial State courtetin so koramo e kor kume SPLA yo kene netin kontila nas kugole nyenke kume SSPDF jomo chalar gwasme similar attack have been reported recently in the area of Meridi which has a non-president of army groups such as National Salvation Front and the opposition SPLA. But no group has claimed responsibility for the incident so far. And got the control to Kumen Chalka National Salvation Front Tatin, Katukum SPLA Tatin, can bonity take a door, but there I'm shilla a coconating content dong. Larek Michikaname, there I'm shilla, but Chiring Michel Mochor Lat, Kajodan, and Charlotte Kajem. Banokale Rodian, Larabanling of Guasame, a Quiwoodka, no, Mishiro, the neck, Ray Wishin Winami. Chalado Shucher or the neck, a queer Läär. Jen iwa jen cha chikaka but gwegejen ojen cha chingna jeka ka jeler me ban jelin care accused adulterer killed Saul with grenade injured 3 soldiers in Rumbek East and yak ban linga toga ke Rumbek en ona gwad mi mo cha ucha chakatin ke cha lar no jen ite karamicha dam ke che chigra radien en ona cheja kapin ban je kule linkel ga dobrande kon linga jen wudre mo cha chaka no jen che rier chejalat no and gwasmo michanga jeno jenne che rer che jala ke che chira dem che jetwa ke jom chalat chala do jen michideni jeno din to chikanu kude gwadan teten wana ga chob de ne gwasmo chokan de to cho yor bom ajen gwasdan en nagarode tin ka cho de ndang dok cho mo ka bot dit re mo to ga chenga dok jok chala do ne gwa to ga je security force ka we ke chaka jako de ken gudu mo de ken oyen Lake State Police Commissioner Major General Chol Atem chera jo ne chera do wuda me jen chinawo lo waje kef jen kwai ke jeno jen gulo jal ka bom gwas moni wa cho bom mo cho yure aleka ka cho je cho yor do bada na yure je ka je don kana je ngaje no yure je di cho ro cho na ka cho ne tin kontila din tin jen yure bom gwas mo chukan bot chukan ga cho je ne dang dok chika boje ka dine ka jen poinde che chu liu ni wena mo wa wuda me poinde wa jen tina ka investigation na won gor ka je ko jen chara do te ka shigra radien mishe rut ke chara mo che jerut kwala gor no de jen nong de jebitich wa che chu lok no dundo antama michero de naga jara de wo ne kon tila security force la ka jugo no dere gwano ene ramu mama dong de jal ko ne me de la no dong aram no mi la de jentame ka jeno che gorro boro naga na kel ge jeno ti diale shaka de lat man yam ran cha de biche ka banga ba jo kef de approach mu ga de jalat mu kan kon kam ni jetin ngum de ramu mo de jo goro ne ka ba goro no ba jene so right now let murai konon tira mo chero de nak ka chene ko ken cha mu ka bot real kon je ka bodong che cha che mo che ben che ne ko na polin che kana police commissioner chela do me chito gwada me wajen aram mo la de ne kenem former army officer no watching area ka merina tene chetene karwonten no jen bo ram ngaike rami mo mi wajen la wi crab la ka le wajen guk en gude shiro de naka na mi shiro kula naga ntama no. The police commissioner described the suspect as a former army officer who had been living in the area for years and was known to local as a practitioner of witchcraft. If it was clear he was a soldier, we would have collected him. Atem say, adding that the security situation in the area is calm. Daniel Atkon, coordinator for the Community Empowerment for Progress Organization, colleague state Chamishana Mocha condemned. A geneti jene diarno meteorametica rek, kiateka match majmetica je. There guan who they can get to break and come kum, commission caname, banang community, kajawadan and shalat kija. Riwne antu ngai kono ken teken ka mesh rai srai wika so dante ramakan mujete ka mai so ne dial kon la me yu ka baga na ki barano ke be kering muchalat gore jeno ba kan dial baga ko na gwi ken la dieno ngu so cha be wa ka ko na bang lora bang ka jeno yo bran break bu jolat na mo dio je shi mugwa okay rig mi jek to kon galer den mo kon lengwa se me do dan an shal ke a winnable ki a winkable chala do take Russian te chi when we meet la geologist ala kan chi o kan Pij County ala we can go we can gwich ala de kan go de kan o kamrar but jo chala gwas me jene kan e di security tina wa chi were witin we me ka Russia chi o kan Pij County wa kan pankien wa chi kan muno mo chi kan otem wachikan bere michikanure monone wakan ke local kan ke la local community chitka DNA tinte ke area mon tam chikaro ke je chiwone kan re area kan mone wokan kan sample mon no michop ke 25 kg chukana nang en muno mo ko chikala do bikan otem michikan dab chikan kulo jekten bu kulo lunjok so michikan makaro ade ano benedi charity foreign big bere which bikan biga da bi kana bakan akwai ke local community shaka bel chakum so Sudan shaka bel keje ko lat kana no telerek ne tie ke le lora bang ka jo chalat gwasem according to local official the team did not engage community members in the exploration activities raising concern among residents wa kan ko right Canadian content tela jiwit ko de ko ke jiwit no gone yo bene wada and dapten bene git and then bene test namo wa kan kana ko alaka Wouldn't Shalka Yad Joseph Charles, a head of the Awinkable Payam, and honor. Yaradokan geologist the tea, or beacon co beacon sample beacon a collect. A why she can moon which of 25 gram, she can anang, a ganang can a co beacon a test by an uncle laboratory by your testing. Yam charging no take a goal, a cannibal joke. She can jo much can lot, but Yakuli Jogano, Nemechagua, Kamagui County Commissioner, Wouldn't Shall Benjamin Polopole or Lum, Jarado. Tadana chijira shi anji bengaje jananga keje state ki national government benen yala no biga bere wo so ko kuje mo de kala lora bang tam de question ja jogo no bishi gran me shagwa kume la gorno bere ke local community shide bene kan lora bang kan local community kan ka update ki kan ka teach so cha jo mo cha jala no chira shi ani shi bere which Kasa Sudan ko bikan goal bikan ben explore ngai na man toga kaji keji right kaji keji man nyen South Sudan ke je kana Uganda akuyunka akuyidapka te mirol to one so kala kana no yo ko kore bikan yal bikan yula lakan local community abu jogo no ngum la roda after that by display ne ye je ken ye to ngwa ma shi atel shop so jom shirgen me shagu no shengu tie chong ka kume kirma yadi no deken liet no kitin konti la miro len gwaz ma deken bananan ka bom mishit kana mo shi chong ke chagwa ka jo dana shalat ke to kon ka abden muton bu kon len gwaz me kamana am tok re which ka lungu shuk a che kon dia nga January ga chito ka lungu shuk gore charta ngwan katin kon iride lat kam nenen kon tila nueritin chunkel ke kirmi yadit kan nuerin kon chunkel ke Dr. Machar so mishit ke me chaje condemn nuer dia la no men shalat chimugwa chire me dana chito ka nasir gwa de dana chi kon shorale che de che jak wani de kon la nuer wa kanak ka nasir antama chito gwa ka lungu shugano Kideni SSPDF chikandi chikana jagalo wuke kuma SPLIO wukana mak wena mo chikoy yu tuok chwa kurmidit cha ne ko na civilian cha ga displace ka wa korshe wo woniam but telmi cha report ko mitong te ka liam chi tuok tin ki midong te ne te ka bot chalan je no kormo cha tuok ka kurmidit ka jodan chikalat ka je ne ti konde tuok keti lat kana me kana ne kana kurme tuok ka kwiko ti Dr. Machar te re te jen mu wa Dr. Machar wa jalun kan telere ba kurmo ba je kapchong anyo kuma spela yu kana gang kana rodien mu gang ka rodien ga jama kana shaka makan wena mo chuken kuma SSPDF chukana chu jojok ka chukan ga joine ka town kire re agan dit ala Matiang town jajo mo chajala do mi chore la ri no right now bana abden ko ken bana ka link ka gwasen be de kon chongan gwas mi jira mi jidit kanwer online TV channel gore jen wojin there subscribe ki there notification bell there je twain ko ditin kon lat ko den gwasme de kan chwamala shupkaji biatagamal bye bye Ner malaken yam ka nas dialten kontin barwani lingwasame kanwer online TV channel te kon kalare ti bi kon kaling kalare ti categoriang anda manduni chang kon nyak malaya nong roi na gwasame an wala changa jan dog wi de kel ka pai badak ron kina dang ro wi jan dang ro wi de dich ban leren kon tuok bana kaling te kon kalare bi kon kaling gwasame te gor kono de koran palpinga lieng dien man yam bana writing ban right ka kwi de ni Uganda tin content ci bere wi ke juba rew de bana right ka kwi South Sudan police officers de ni den ka ke police ni tin kontere which ka South Sudan adiodian bana right ka tadan en shideni chicken kum chicken lokaje ka tin kon lat korodian ngwan den ka jeler me bana right ka kwi Dr. Riek Machar adiodian bana right ka kwi nend chanak ka Greater People Administrative Area bano nyo right ka takume ka do badana nyenya ka jere wi ka South Sudan kana do malka goran wajin bilare me bi janyo ane de kokin ke ler titine anda manduni cham kon nyak mala nong roi ne gwasame na ka jeno de kon ler titi de kon kelinkel bi kon tin yam bana ka cholinkel men na ga long o tadan dong queen channel queen support ke je leran yam beje kwen ka tok English ana ka kore bana jo explain ka tok nat ki ka tok na internet bu kon chu ka mandan ande kon lingwas mene Uganda soldier in Juba. This week, new fighting started again in Upper Nile State. The clash were in Longshuk and Tonga, Pij County. There, these places have seen fighting many times before. Because of the renewed clashes, the Ugandan People Defense Forces, called UPDF, increased their presence in Juba. They sent more soldiers over the weekend. The reason for this deployment is not very clear. Some people believe it is connected to the fighting in Upper Nile. Others think it may be to protect important government officials in Juba. Both government, Uganda in Kampala and South Sudan in Juba, have not released an official statement. This silence has caused more speculation among citizens. Many Juba residents are now asking questions: why are Uganda soldiers needed in the capital? In the South Sudan army not enough to keep order? Or is this connected to a bigger political plan? People are worried because foreign troops in the capital often signal tension. Some citizens fear that this may mean the security situation is worse than it looks. Observers say Uganda has a history of sending troops into South Sudan. In the 2013 crisis, UPDF soldiers came to Juba to support the government. Now, their presence again raises old memories. For now, the streets in Juba remain calm, but citizens are waiting carefully for any new information. John Lincoln Magwasame, a man chalat ke kwide ni Uganda, chala ngo ke ken nin jogo de ti pan chala ngo chi deni Uganda chi ke chubre wiki juba awa ken dio ge no wo kare wiki juba ka kwi ko rin chi to gre wiki lungu shuk kana man chi to ka tonja ka panyi kan county ka panal ngai ko na gwad yalti ni wal la kor la teten ko jen gwad dan en la SPLI go ken SSPDF la ken Christian ke la ko kan tokten chede ngai kon diale ka jo chalat gwasame awa duwa badana ji kurche to ga jere wika so Sudan kam kume Dr. Machar kene kume kirmi yadit dew ga jeno jen biji Uganda ka jamon UPDF rei wiki juba awa ta danan chika ngwan ga jere wich ko tame chi de ngwan chi chubre wich ja de bamni ken shakanen ka torbiele ken ka ke de ngwan long no awa within this weekend ke ken nin jogoti Saturday kana Sunday watch chigaro re belong re wika South Sudan kan ngwande ni nying ji Uganda do badana nunga kare wika ja awaka na kon ngach ngode it is not very clear do badana kwa deploy kaja duno tenete laden wone ne re wika South Sudan no beken ka kwiko re to ka panal ne to ngwalin kanene na kan lat kana kiemen gwiken dong beken ko biken kirm yadit kana bolmel beken ka bagang re wiki juba ka jodana chalat ngai kone kum Uganda kana kum Sudan let ken kel badundo tel mi kana lat ka do badana shiden Uganda shika chubre wiki juba ka je non ngai ke jeno de ni Uganda te karar wich ngai kon diala te ka luri kana goten ko ken ante mane to wan gur kano de ken man to men non ka Uganda ka jere wiki juba gur kano de kana ling Antem roy now chineting one chick do a long teach Canadian wo angum la road. Angumi be ji Uganda kajere which kujubamo. Angum non kare capital. Nating one wa tiken ko quicken do badan de Uganda ben kaje. No. Awana me dio geno take a kor me gora broad lat. Mishi dunga panal ke angum to gare wikuba. Are kuma ka kirma yadit. Nating one dearken ko shade ne jor sha no re wika capital awana me la ja nyu de no miche de ni jiwin ko ken chika bere wich la ja ngai ken o te ka mele roda dongo kur ke te ka te to re kuma ka chitka me chi to ka gwase dan ke 2013 sha no re wiko biken were benak anyok ka kor gwade pai we cha nya no re wich ke juba ko biken were wonak re wika panal teren yalte chiken ke use gwade che gar tieni kan naktin dong kamen Canadian kashu kan wari kan nak nang medit gwe ka jen wo jen do badana bekaka ko michigan me chawda ko lat ke 2013 gwan chi UPDF soldier chi kan ko lan wari kan naktin wa dew ka jen wo jalat kan mone nyok ko kur dana tuok ka panal wa kur medit ka gor kan ode kan wo participate in chat kamala kan ala na won namo amile ro den tam amilin kon mo gwasa me ata dana na ala kuma kirma yadi kajan gwasna ko na ngejino michi kormi chatuo la kanji Uganda la kan kako beken ka ko yo and then chirmangai kon waram kel ka kala de kela bude ke yo to chop ko kudang ro US dollar dio je ci kon diala ngaji michi na mone la de kel be boot ke 200 US dollar gwan modini SSPDF dong buran ke real kel ke euro ke sig ke pay bo ke bene $6 ko ken dini SSPDF ki dini janen kontin tere wichin winami wariudien dial no wachushken tel makam ke yo mi chukulo kori bay kul moy ke metot alo kwala use la tool ka jodan chalat so jolin kon mo gwat me biadil ngajeno kuma Uganda sheben re wich ka juba ka dobe be ke jegwe ke jeno gorge jeno bajena ka panal ki bajena bor joma gwano de kon dialing ka dobe dan en cheto ko je ko tetu ngwan long to lat karodien ajo ban nyoko milin kona gwaseme ajo mo chalat do ne take police ni ati jitte chikene pal re wich ka South Sudan ka juba ki across South Sudan ne ri chobke kin dangwan ena tichikan de chikana pal ka ta dan shanke je ke gwe ke jen oken de kan kor ko tama la nan kan din la kan nan kor ba nan gwa dan tan wote ke tin bugo nyin kan wore chan jo me chan jo milin kel ka do dan en chalat ke je. Over 4,000 officers from the South Sudan National Police Service have abandoned their duties. This is a very serious development The officer left their job because of long delay in salaries and poor working conditions. Sources reveal that some officers have waited up to 1 full year without receiving any pay. This situation forced many of them to leave the force. They are now looking for other ways to support their family. The resignation has created big worries. Many regions may now have fewer police officers to provide security. This leaves ordinary citizens more vulnerable to crime and violence. Some officers spoke secretly to reporters. They say they feel very frustrated and hopeless. One officer said, "I cannot continue to serve my country when my children have no food to eat." Another say, "We risk our life every day, but the government has abandoned us." So far, leader of the South Sudan Police Service and the Ministry of Interior have not made any statement. But pressure is now very strong on the government. People are demanding quick action to fix this crisis. So jom shit kana me milin kwana me ata dana shi polinire wika South Sudan ci karoi keja. Tala de polin chop ke kin dangwan ci karodian barre wika juba. Chicken barodian lo waka weda dian batikare which bada kana shushkan. Then polin to kane de kona let South Sudan National Police Service. Kana wa chicken duty ni kien kilet kina kona de kan kala ta dan de na ganga je wa chicken ga ban pin. Na mani ami beje long. Kana den kona ci jene ti kin dangwan. Wa chicken let to chicken kapel ko kana nana kana kan ka kam yoken kan ka kam salaries. Aja kana tika ka poor condition gwan motela kwan mi tekake yekala do nene chineli ko korun ka gwan motela kwan mi jengne tele yoto kam kane so ngum de ne serve ko je ka cha tik da cha jagang gad ko men ko de ka ngukule cham ka jena dana kwala gorno mishi lati kule jigba yekule moy ka dor ano cha salary cha ga bungun lat kene na me akel mi jangne ko abnero da woj akeneri chedita long ki situation we kamere banarode Jinetu mwanti ka jian ray day ka latne de kondi la police ni. Antama katin latkan gor kan rana wodar shi mandar ka support di. Ko kan chush kan ka chonmi di tele kon misham kana. Enona. Tala de onetin kontinti jian day ka tele police ni. Wa chi kering mi di chikana nongre yuka South Sudan ko antama. Chika gwan mi di chikana pel madong break buka let ka jam. Ko tamane de kontin bilat buka la police ni te tot. Chicken bungwan ko shi rudian chik rodian bar ray polisa tala do jagane diala kontin tere wika South Sudan ko vikan tere shushka kanete kona la chur ko chur tama mital police ni la gor kan no bikan ka machine ke de kana de kan kanak watching na chicken vulnerable along ka dueren kon lat ka kaka ka do badan violence umre bunrode ray wika South Sudan ate karam kel mi churo ka kene de kone la dine ke polin tatone jala de wonene ajane kon kinetel shabdo dien medene she manako de ne kalwa kaja no ajane chine de ngot kam serve ne ke lene wujika gwan mo gad ko ke manako dial shush kana tel kon misham kana jaram ke che jala de wonene ba ajane tek da cha bech ajane mi jene re kuma kaka je tel kon ngai kone re wika South Sudan choje chuina kaja aneti kon la kware wika South Sudan Police Service kana Minister of Interior tele michi kana lat tele statement michi kana made kata dana shuj police ni kaja bachala do police ti chop ke kindang wan charden bar ka do badana dong shuj kan kaja re kuma ka chajo mo chajo kwen ke mi shoda lat entama bana je ngajin go nene neti kontila police ni shuj kan ka do mi tele kon medan chan raje wonene bol mele jene be yobe kangun yoten kontila salaries baka kam civil servant te polineten na te lat kuma tikatin a wona king yake teacher a mene government worker ne diala kontin tere which ka South Sudan tila de ni tilat ka kuma wade kan yuken de kan ka jengna chiang ka chang yandang ridung wan no ka pai so mi chigna mo kan bol mele kan jalalet so chimichi na mo chatwok sharing mudi tejenung ajen mo entama kwa kuma kwa ja abandon ne ko la police ni pelkan letken ko kanane chine de let ketel kon mishamne kanete la reason mede ne te kaje kune country serve ketel salary te jeng ne ka ku she manako gad ko ku kale shuj te kon misham kana ko kontinu gwa da mere which la ne go de ne ta da na chine ko chi shuj ka ja de ne ya leka ke she manaken kan na mo chine gor no de ne lalet chi kala de wo chine gor no bnelo ngot kami la ne ala ne timo buwuj bukan la deka ka chu she manako chi kan logon mishit kana mo ka jo da na chi kan lat ke ja ngai kon dial mo dan le rode en go atok. Let us now look more closely at the police crisis. The South Sudan National Police Service is supposed to be the main law enforcement body in the country, but now more than 4,000 officers have already walked away. The reason is very simple. They are not being paid. In some cases, officers waited 10 months. In other cases, a full year passed without any salary. Because of this, many officers could not take care of their families. They could not pay school fees for their children. They could not buy food in the market where prices keep rising every month. They could not pay rent or medical bills. As a result, these officers felt they had no choice. They left their uniform behind and started looking for other work. Some joined private security companies. Some went to border town to do a small trade. Others may simply return to farming to survive. This situation is very dangerous for the country. When police are not present, law and order become weak. Criminal groups may increase their activities. Armed robberies, theft, and local conflict can rise quickly. Citizens are already saying they feel less safe. In some towns, there are no visible police officers at night. Community members are now trying to protect themselves. Civil society groups are asking the government to pay police salaries immediately. They warn that the longer this crisis continues, the weaker security will become. International partners are also worried. Some say the government must find urgent solution to avoid total collapse of the police force. So many there is still no official statement. The government remains silent, but pressure is building. Mishit kaname amilin koname ta dana chideni chikijian gaja. Awaken chicken dul gorka gan ken chicken long kam yur kanapin. Ken lakan runa nang ke pat teterial majagrana. Ano kajin michi yo chikajak selajit salary angum dere country dere self no. Kajan kuiga na mo chi police ni chikajian chikanu kuchi manaken ko bran bolet. Koken chicken dul gorka gan ken chicken luanga European. Chicken konadan de chamagat ken chicken luanga mu European. Ka kuija mo chicken kuija no ngono brand bejian. Watch rudian chika jian ko cha mo kayo. Chitandian chicken let ka kampan to koken. And although let kan ka company la security private security companies chiko letin. Tandian chika wona ka ubigran we agwan yagat ka lerne business. Chitandian chika we lo puriken. Erin michit kaname anga nonga mo. Nonga kume ko gwame telepolinitin la rekti ngwa la kana tuoko no chema ngai kono no South Sudan liuna na chang especially Western Equatoria liuna na chang tin ka tako tele security terame gangran so gore jeno ba wij ba je gang gore jeno ba netin kon tin la jiwich tin gang ka wich den ba dil mo kayo ko biken service mo gwa kan kulotop Canadian county la jewit but ka jawlat kana gwasame kana chika chujo long ka kuiko ci police ni ci ken jien chika na ngor gwanten kono teketen chika na tam chika la served jem nena dilia ka je bnad bu ka ben ka wer bana ba kana ga ken Canadian county la chur no bi ka jien lora ba nga teram bu ka bu kudien awa some areas within Juba ba changa police teleke ke some counties level so mu nyudan wodi wachi chian kuma kacha bech gwan mo tele salary mo kam kana kwa kumre jogono jin pay the salary pay neten county la jewit jangne jiwi ko kan be can feel served mo nyere kon la police ni ka yo ka le ladien so jo me mishalat lera bana nyok mu kwen kon pingwas me bana rach ka kwi Dr. Yang Machar Ngay korik tung wana ko na Saudi lat re which ka South Sudan ka apanal amena go diatin koken bana duptin content chalat gwasm bana kelinkel pele rod pin ko jin bikelinga gwa ka do bodan en chagalat kija Tensions are rising again in Upper Nile State and in Jonglei State. This comes after a report that Dr. Riek Machar, the SPLMIO leader, is under house arrest. Many members of SPLMIO are angry about this. They believe the peace agreement is now in danger. The SPLMIO deputy chairman, Honorable Oye Nathaniel, has already given an order. He told their forces to increase pressure near Dolib Hill. This is a strategic area outside Malakal town. This move is a strong warning. It's seen as a threat to Malakal, one of the most important towns in Upper Nile. Both the government and the SPLMIU are now reinforcing their position. This means more soldiers are being sent to different front lines. The chances of new clash is now very high. Already, there has been fighting in Tonja, and SPLMIO troops have withdrawn from Wurjok training camp. These developments show that hostilities are increasing. Civil society groups are now warning of possible mass displacement. If the clash is spread, thousands of families may flee from their homes. International partners, including regional organizations, are calling for calm. They are asking both sides to show restraint and not destroy the peace deal. Many citizens fear that the peace agreement may collapse completely. Otherwise, the peace is already collapsed. South Sudan cannot afford another full war. Kir is being asked to release Dr. Riek Machar, but he said nothing. African Union, IGAD, including international community, have called for reconciliation. They called Kir Mayadit to release Dr. Riek Machar and allow Riek Machar to participate in the 2010 peace agreement. And yet still Kir did not respond. Jawlin kwana magwaseme amendana shalat. Bana jeling in detail ka doba dana chatwokaja. Nay kon kur dana tuok antema ka Upper Nile State ka Jonglei. Ano, ano chikur chatwok ne pan kaje. Chikon dialm chena machana jangach. Kuma Dr. Riek Machar, SPLIO leader, ngay kon and go take katijan kana nalun. Dundo members Kennedy Niken, just Lodian K. Lukan Mandan and Latke Kim Yadid Gaken. A Kenya Yanke Dr. Riek Machar Kajamo, a Mumacharing Machar Chajalun, but Chikil Yadid Chajaling, Mishit Kanamane. Chikuma SPLIO deputy chairman, Honorable Oye Nathaniel Oyet. Then she ordered Chijitup. Chaneka Dialan content Gwanakian, K. De Nikian Dial, Jaga Jogono Real Rodunaka. Real Rodunaka, Koyen Biakur Biajeter. Ko na me tel chapter dob dien ba ko terkeje gero bna big dilnyen ray wuchen bineme kinatenelo yete jo mo che jitup ko ba mi chitkene me ba jalat ko shagu je no en kirme yadi che goro bi malbe ben se ku je mo ci kume SPLA ayo ci kare shugu je no ko tele ka chosh e kenne men gune tama o bne kor bne ter lo gang ne roda. No. So jem nen yan tama what tension is very high. Ka panal gwanda dialen koken. She honorable Oyet Nathaniel she la do nene she order she jitup. She nek dialen kondila kumes filayo che jogo no rebe do live hill rebe je kenetung wan ke denetung wan ke jomo che jitup. Alagui konan tama malakal tererika. Titang no bukor batok jo me gore jeno de je nyoga yekel mi jiram jidit gwaseme gore no please der je nyoga ni koken so lere jo gwad me ben nyoga yekel aman ci to ka great people administrative area gwan mi mo cha jinya gat ka dangraw cha ka nekten ban yo jikler rodien an bi atakamal bye bye anar malaka nyam kana dialtin kontin ba lere ba kalin gwaseme ka Nuer online TV channel and manduni chan konyak Malia nung roina gwasame kan online. An wala shanga jandang degude kel ka pai badak. Ron kina dang rawide jandang rawide diech. Bantin kon lat karudi antama banakeling. Te kon kaler dang Dr. Gorliang te very important along. Leran yama ban writing a koran chitwok. Mishala den wo chitwok an wale. No ka Western Equatoria. Ana dore dana tiji Equatoria tikaten ke nyam nyamne. Bana jelingan kormo ki koran chur rodalat lere odemen bana lingwa same tera mecha kwanya la gwan mal ka Jonglei State ban mandan le rodere wichen widemi ban jelinkel dioden gwasame bana roache ka kwi yena dan en cha yen Dr. Riek Machar rei wich ta South Sudan kana roi ni ti kokien ti bombom ba ti goro de ling katin jek dialen kona lat karodien and then bana right kerege dana che to ka nasser gwade sha na cha connecten ka sha og nuer sha ka peitin ngai kona eno ti dialati kerik ti sharo lat to goro de keling ka do badanan che to ka ami jira me jidit gwaseme kan war online tv channel gore jen wojen der subscribe ko de notification bell der jetwan o mi jete ko mi che to de chama la bere kajen no ko ti ka do goliang ke de gore kon lat ka rodin wo de keling rai wich aka South Sudan banti dialati bana keling kel ka do badanan che to ko je bu kon ngajen wo ko ritu wan ka tin ka jen gwaseme ne na bana leran yam bana jeling kel gwaseme ne ka do badanan che to ko je man to kray wichen binami kam nenetin kontin lane dakheng machar kenetin kontin la de ni SSPDF tinte terwa ke kirmi yadit no. Well, today we bring you important news, stories from South Sudan. We will talk about the recent fighting in Western Equatoria State, the appointment of a new peace advisor in Jonglei State, and also the situation of the first Vice President, Dr. Riek Machar, who is still under house arrest. Stay with us until the end because these stories show the challenges and the hope for peace in our country. Fighting in Western Equatoria. Soldiers from the South Sudan People Defense Forces, known as SSPDF, are accused of attacking soldiers of the Sudan People Liberation Army in opposition, the SPLIO in Western Equatoria State. The clash happened on August 24th, according to the SPLIO spokesperson in Western Equatoria, Major Costa Joseph Aburida. SSPDF soldiers attacked SPLIO areas in Bari, in Mudere East County, and in Kurisu, which is about 45 kilometers from Yambuton. Major Aburida said that the attack left one SPLI soldier dead, but he said the opposition forces defended themselves, stopped the attack, and keep control of the cantonment site. He said clearly, this is a violation of the peace agreement. We are only engaged in defensive operation. We lost one soldier, but our cantonment area are still under our control. The SPLIO spokesperson called on the peace monitoring body known as RJMEC and also the international peace guarantor to take quick action. He warned that these attacks are dangerous and can destroy the peace process that the people of South Sudan have been waiting for. He also spoke strongly against other violations. He condemned the continued detention of first Vice President Dr. Riek Machar. He condemned the removal of the former governor of Western Equatoria State, General Alfred Futuyo Karaba. He said the looting of Futuyo property is also a violation of the peace agreement. At the same time, the commissioner of Mundere West County, Zelfa Dawa, said she could not confirm the clash. She said, yeah, there was an issue in the force, but so far there are no clear details. It has not reached the level of displacement or injuries. Effort to contact the SSPDF spokesperson, Major General Lure Kong, were not successful at the time of publication. This incident shows again how fragile the peace in South Sudan is. The gun have not fully gone silent and trust between the parties is still weak. People fear that if such incidents continue, the country could slide back into more conflict. This is why many are calling for serious dialogue and international pressure to make sure the peace deal is respected. Mancho lad gwasame akordana chito kam kuma SPLIO ka Western Equatoria. Jala do na ga changa jandanga ro ngwan ka jan pa daga me chikor mo choralat. Anyo ka changa jandanga ro baro. Bene ka changa jandang jok wide kelen tama ka do badana chalat keje chala do kore charu en lat alo kore tikete wichin binami man to gene kuma SPLIO ken cha gwad dan tiketin cha ka magten akana ma kan ka kan kanas kan ka ma ka kuje mo akane this can international community no they can kuma kim yadit SSPDF they can get jogono wojerodun gwadnatin content kuma SPLIO ten chwa kuma SPLIO chwa ja tagwan kon tiketin wa similar incident che togba ka apenal amani god dialen ko kienten kuma SPLIO ten alo la ka yot kamaj balerlen kon magwase men chora lat karwa da ki Equatoria bana duptin kon to ga jabana jangat neme wa yar kana mal ron kin dangre wal badda ke chatain alo ko ba mal ba je laslet ko the transitional government de jeto anyok alo ko ba ko inquire ba je lat kim yadit ko mukir men ko jano de mal derben dio je cheche mal che taine wal but the dwale ko logo jeno ba ko inquiry ba jala jen mi mo gang dakre mo char gang jarar na me dera mandana de kon linga jodan chalat kije ngai kontin dial kon lat korodian ray wika so sudan and woridian dial garek ti cha gor jeno bi malbeben men ci to ko western equatoria akam spla yo kene de nitin kontila de ni spla spla ag ki de ni sspdf ti ray ke kirmi yadit ka jomo dan chalen gwasme waken cha kama to ko chang jan dang ridung wan ka pai badda ka be ka jan chang dang de kele men an wale wangu daba to korte ka tire wichin winami korte to wa yerkene male yerkan do bdande mal daro nyam kaja so to talk ti ka goro de ka kapchong then korre katin kon charlat ka panal kon dit kon talk but bana wutin ka kor gwasan be raina goro jeno bana focus katin kon ti lat korodian kajan gwasmane bukon ngajeno tin lat korodian gwasme wo ba kuma spela yo ba je silent ke cha bu gorno bi ka george ke ba jodien ba jeling ajen menen jena tama to korte katin ano bi malbe ben gore kwa dangaro ko de ka mat kede ka raketin kon lat korodian but Michigan book right tin na me nyod jen hotel mishala mal re wika so Sudan malbe ben enemy chikan ne diala kontin ala kuma spele ayo kene kuma SSPD apchigo kon mat so jo me dera me de kon link kon dial lerban right tin gwasame te jo me cha kwa chalat gwasame wa take a new peace advisor in jongle mi cha kwan ban jo da ban gelin kel gwasame. Now let us move to Jonglei State. The governor of Jonglei State, Dr. Regai Ko, has made an important appointment. He has chosen Michael Malis Dakdeng as the new advisor for peace in the state government. Michael Malis is one of the tallest men in South Sudan, but more importantly, he is respected by the community for his calm character and his peaceful way of handling issues. People admire him for his ability to bring different groups together. Governor Regai says the appointment is part of his plan for inclusive leadership. He wants to bring harmony among the people of Jonglei, a state that has suffered a lot from intercommunal conflict. Michael Malis himself thanks the governor for trusting him. He said he will work with local leaders, with youth and with women groups to create dialogue and promote unity in the state. The appointment gave hope to the people of Jonglei. The state has seen cattle raiding, revenge killing, and fighting among communities. Many lives have been lost. Now, with the peace advisor like Malis, people hope there will be new effort for reconciliation. It also shows that leadership in South Sudan need people who are respected in the community, people who can talk to everyone, and people who can calm down tension before they grow into violence. Jo Lincoln Mogwasame, Wudeme, Ewun Mishakwany, Jen Shure Shwale Malit. No. A Jen Chaja Kwany, a Dr. Guy Cook, Kwangeja Kojan Bala Gwan Mala. And Michael Malis, Jen Chaja Kwanyalo ambassador, peace ambassador, Ray Wika Jonglei State. No. And Robadana Kwangeja Gwasame, a Wakwangeja Kashianga Dana Shanen Kaja. No. Governor Guy Cook, Chararunena, a Jen may plan ko. Ba Nathan Kontin la Roika community katel terka community kan kona ba kwany ko bi kana kwar ki de kan community ne de kan kanongwa kel shaladan go ajen mo kwanye wude me lo bala kwar ki kwar mala Michael Malis point che governor Dr. Guy Cook che la taslo ai ko chaja kam kom money ko cha kwanya rami mo la peace ambassador kajen Chiloya tes bolung ko right but ke local leaders ke ngwani ken men ken ideal content ray which ka Jonglei ko be peace be je promote ken unity awa do badana kwa ja point ke je awa ngat ko bi mal be bere wi ke Jonglei ko chang ngaje ko kor gwan ber ko ngwan chikam ngwan long ko ro ken ko nang na rin kam ni ken lo la ram manak ka dong ngai kon nying shundin kon la tuok cha chu gujeno wuri chal ka me Michael Malis awagwi ke jeno aram kel me de mal de jenong rei wichin ginami ka jo dan chalat Michael Malit wajen ramil lene dial ka bare wi ka South Sudan bare long no lene ne dial ka bar ajen mi chai gujeno ko no ka jene dial chene mangai kono no rami mo me public figure mangai ka let it go wajen la chian la jan no cha guje no Michael Mali den dera mal dera je no so cha jo mo cha ja kwene no no na me mugor kono de kono ling no no Jordan bana nyoka mukwen kono gwasme bana raiche ka kwi Dr. Machar akan kono we no ka latin ko kina kon de kon keling gor kon de kon jome de kono ling okay kamandana to ka Nasir no bana kula waka dung Dr. Machar do badana cha yene chana jo me chana jaling no ka tin kono talk no kam Nuer kana jang no ka Wulang County kamandan kamen beje chitwok dio je rudun dio je sia jeling bani bat ke je lere me gor je no beje nyoga ye kel ko do badana chalat ke je goro de kon linga gwa kamandan chitwok ka jo chalat gwa seme use rate Wulang County cattle and kill 2 and steal over 1,000 cattle. At around 5 a.m. local time on Friday morning, army used from Ngok Lual Yak community of Baliet County launched a surprise attack. Raid on Makwaj village. Park Buma of Doma Payam Wulang County. According to local report, the attacker killed 2 men, injured 4 others, and drove away more than 1,100 cattle. The raid has choked communities in Wulang Nasser, Longashuk, and Nirol counties, who share border with Baliet. Local leaders and residents say they view the attack not as a community conflict, but as part of a wider war driven by President Salva Kiir and his allies against the Nuer people. For that reason, they say there is no plan to retaliate directly against the Ngok Lual Yak community simply because they are Dinka. And separate to the incident, the Y Army forces in Wulang and Nasser counties are expected to meet and decide on the next course of action. Honorable K. Onson Chol James, the Y Army spokesperson for Nasser and Wulang counties, expressed condolence to the families of the 2 men killed and wished a speedy recovery to the wounded. Our condolence thoughts and prayer are with the bravest families of the incident victim. We also send wishes of quick recovery to those who were wounded in this deadly raid. Onson said in a statement released from the Y Army headquarters in Mandang. The situation remains tense in the area as communities await further action from the Y Army leadership. Jowlin kon magwasame ran bejben miji to ka Wulang. Jala de wore wi Wulang cha ok chupke kitu de kor kel cha kanang. Ka chi gane dangro chi kan ngana kan wore. Ne ri kona nakana awa ke jang no. Jang the to wana kan wore ka Friday morning. Awa ken chi ben ka Wulang lo ka jang Ngok Lual Yak community jen kan ka Baliet County wa chu kan surprise attack chu kan lat kan wore dor shal ka man Kwach village. Park Buma Doma Payam Wulang County. Kajo cha lat gwasme local reports. Awaken it in konin chiben cha ne dangro cha kana chike wundangro chicken ganak ka chicken ne dangwan ko ken gan moy ka bot. Ka chika rodian bar ko chop ke kidu do kor. Chicken ganan ko di ala tona. Awachi ne dum wan chika gaje long ka Wulang ka Nasser ka Longashuk. Awone ka Nirol counties. No ne di ala konden te ka border kitin te ka ke ne konte ka Baliet. Wa local leader Tinten wenamo, watch can gujano malatka me jang, a kenny gurkano be rek but to come dur dangro tintiek. Check a jang and contact a balit can and where contact cupboard or con and take a kakan jang. Wagurkano bane tobacco judge. One me plan President Salva Kiir yadit, go gurajan open where baganyo muku the kaka jang and con and take a can. Can one where can a jang tinten wano, tell a problem. No. Can tell a career key chicken take a plan code a Rudian nagno one. Baname mechare leke Kiir no banari nak. No. Ngok Lual Yak community chicken surprise mishir na mo chicken let kan wore. Chicken Nuer dangro chicken ganak ka chicken nok to wan chicken kanang. Ka jo charat gwasame Nuer wayam chikala de wonene. Nuer wayam tinte ka Wulang kana Nasser counties. Kana bigajek bikan do badana bikare me bikan sol ko je bikan go kel. Big nyur gwa kel bikan char kamanan to ko kan kana ngajan wo kane de nyi won kane de kon inshallah ka Ngok Lual Yak community. No. Chinwer Y Army Quarian Kumentaga Wulang ka Nasser Onson Chol James chala de wonene ajana baga je konne to kon langwane Nasser kana Wulang counties ano ken bine man tan tin ba ga jeguch anyo ken jakan just lo adien ken dangro tin kone anak chicken family tin kon te ka wulang chicken kalaro chilo da jazalung gamana na chi tuok gwan mi chane dangro cha anak tin ka chane dangwan cha mu ka bot ken go ne no ne dangwan to ka je rudin kamal ka bodin kone akam ke chicken condolence chicken jakaka ka do badan ji kor mo je to ga je ken bi ken do ben tan yam ken len gij bo ki do bu ka won yam ka je jo me chicken lat kamandan en le rode re wichin gwinimi gwase me bani ngaje no ne alan warna won kan ne dichal ke dinka ke jangden te ka balit teleke terwon donc dara kule la jen teran yama tamana me mi shan war shagan ne kan anan wore beje pan ko kan te ka bodor non gi jen wo teleka kor ko ne kon te ka korun ke SPDF kan ne kon la nor waya mi ke SPLA yo ban mi te to ko kan tamma chicken ne content te ka bodor chicken galus so an wore tel ne option de no donc de ne coordinator but kan reatin lo bi kan kor bi kan te kala no bi kan men newton then bikan madan de kan bikan ban ngai kan go quote kan ka wa plan mishare le ka jang la kan roje ne ka gwade dan wari bi roje ne ka tok jane ne de kon te ka wulang tin ka border la kan ala all the time ngai kon mishit kan mone so na me shi new ana shi mi jidit de kon dial te ka ngai tin no mutwoge ma ngai kon no already kon wari so we do not need to surprise with the incident name it is a plan strategy which are carried out kir go gorjen oben where konte ga boror ka jang be kam moy karek so kan mo to no bugo ken bikan baong nor ba nang ban wona watching na lor shing na go but right now thing chiga woka direction mi shodolon cha jo mo cha jala den wona me am le rode so no gwada me jo dana balling no mo go no banyo ya kel gwasa me mandan en chalat ko kwi dar mo char yen dan cha yen ban jelin kel. Finally, let us talk about the situation of Dr. Machar, the first vice president of South Sudan and the leader of the SPLA-MIO. Even though he is one of the top leaders in the country, Dr. Machar is still under house arrest. His movements are restricted. He cannot travel freely to meet his supporters, to visit his soldiers in the containment site, or to move outside Juba without permission. Many opposition members, including Major Costa Joseph Aburida, say this is a clear violation of the peace agreement. They argue that Machar was supposed to move freely and carried out his political and peace duties as first vice president, but instead he is being treated like a prisoner inside his own house. The situation is dangerous for peace when one of the main leaders of the peace agreement is not free. The whole agreement is at risk. His followers feel angry and frustrated. They believe the government is not serious about full peace implementation. Also, the continued detention of Machar creates mistrust. How can peace work if the leaders do not trust each other? How can soldiers in the cantonment area feel safe when their leader cannot even visit them? These are the questions many South Sudanese people are asking. International partners have also raised concern. They say that keeping Machar under house arrest weaken the peace deal. It stops reconciliation and dialogue. It also makes it hard for the unity government to function properly. The opposition is calling for the release of Machar so that he can fully take part in the peace process. They say peace cannot be built with one side restricted. Both sides must be free and equal if the country wants real stability. At the same time, citizens are worried. Ordinary people want peace. They want freedom of movement. They want security, and they want leaders to work together. But when leaders fight each other and block each other, it is the citizen who suffer most. Amilian kwan mogwase me ta da na chayen Dr. Machar ko ngai kon dialan wori te ko lat ko din gidi plan already. Yende Dr. Machar awa yer malka. No. Dr. Machar is supposed not to be arrested. Ko tam chare ngaje no te fen wan fe di rete jen ngai kon lat korodian tel mo gwam le rode ngai kon di ala mi chara mo mela kwer mal ka mi chaje yen te mela tok tin mal na le na ga kwire la jega den ma cha de peno jela che ngai kon di ala ko cha pen jal tel mi le de che mit kene de kon di la jikware supporter ka so na me bo riek bon che raj bon kene de kon la di ni ka tinte ka cantonment side gwadan ngai ka tin te ram raj ko de ni ka dial to outside of Juba. So tell you permission ko den to dial to there kalat. Ane to one tikenu Riek Machar loinde jen took over mal bajinong so makan mal kana kon realika ken kirken jeno no Riek Machar beje kamrari ti jen gwad tetin watel peace may be prevail ko bi peace be bena gor ke Riek Machar no be berar benderar gor jeno be kir be dor beje realika no ne to one long to opposition members wona ka major Costa Joseph Aburida mela kwer jara do na me a violation of peace agreement yen Riek Machar no Riek Machar der dil jal der nyinga dial der kalat no ko jen first by president ta de jangne ko jen der tere ti jen chit kami rami mo mi chi der shilat so rami mo pen ka jare duare wana me che chong so gorge jen o jen der jal der tin dial ko de la der kalat barai now chukume kem yadi chejenok in summary today news show us three things. First, peace in Western Equatoria is under threat because of new clash between SSPDF and SPLIO. Second, in Jonglei, a new peace advisor has been appointed to help stop community conflict and promote dialogue. And third, Dr. Riek Machar remains under house arrest, situation that many believe is a big violation of the peace agreement. South Sudanese people are watching closely. They want peace, not war. They want leaders to respect the agreement and to work for unity, not division. The international community is also watching. Everyone knows that without full freedom, justice and trust, peace will remain fragile. That is the news update for today. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like this video, share it, and subscribe for more updates. Together, let us continue to hope and pray for peace in South Sudan. Me jiram jidid gwasme gor jeno der channel der support der subscribe ko der notification bell der jetwain ko beler man bugan kula be nyen gwadan ban chongten ci je pro jeno jin bi ñogane ko ken en bi atagamal bye bye nar malaken yam ner yene diala kontin lenkar wayno gwasme kan Nuer online TV channel and mandu ne chan kodnyak tikon ke special report ka breaking news bi konaling Gwasadan and to Kume SPLIO Tetin and Okene Kume SSPDF ka panal. Chaladan go take a corm short a laden wale, kakor mo cormidit, Banmadan le road of Gwasan Banajalinkel. Chetaganedia kef and ono, Kachikormo Chetwalker, Dorashal Ketunja, and Banatin diala kone lat, Corodian Banakaling to Concaler, and Wanagur Konobana link Kajan Gwasme. Ko te dong wan long to goro bi kon ka ngach kata dan to ko rekeje kam kuma SPLIO kana kuma SSPDF mi jira ma jedida kan kono niam ku channel ku je support ku subscribe ku notification bell ku je twan lam ni char belam ni jatu bu gwas mo ko bitin dial kontilat ko rodien bi ko kula ngach jana jo me chan jamiling be jo me be kanetin content ka frontline ka kuma SPLIO linga ma dana tuok ban ma dan le rodo ban je ko linkel gwas mene ani chan je linkel
Toto milare ka yang wale aba yar mai ka tunja ka panya kan konte ede idibor tito ka waini ka chako ka joy chaka kamne dan wal ka tegdien many tat kid many as SPDF many needy I know kandi alkulu kan gwal mananan long da van ka kono gor kana men wan ba chong sine ke no jow medelariye SPLIO Biba Dr. Riek Machar
gwa jowling yana magwas me kime shaling roja dana shalat kuma SPLIO kadit content ka front line kenede content tarka kor tegatin sire me shaling shalat go shane di shane sha kawai ni to shop ko wal sha ka kep kan kawai to tolat ka jeno kan dongde ka jirasha ne wal sha ka be ken chicken agwele chicken ka kep ala tet chicken tet kep ka chala ro chicken jang be chicken ka kep ala dine SSPDF ko kor medit awasha de indian kontila de ni SSPDF chaka joj ci kuma SPLIO ne dialog content tere wishin winami ci kala do ne ci jeyne nuare kene jeynin konde roy ke Dr. Machar wa charo den mat an gwasa moni ko ken parga ne ke ka tonja awa ci kene shugoro no bikan kormo bikane ter ci kan kuma maroy ke kir ala SSPDF ci kan yo joj chaka joj an tamma ci kan ngore wujdan tikitin ban melin kono gwasa me do badan en chadi ni to board shall captain why foreign mercenaries to go can work in Russia ken jikan on go de ken tunja de ken kef an tunja gor ko de ken kef banamo kana no ke kuma SPLA yo shakan dia chayo jo ka chane de konti la jejen bor la yes why foreign mercenary ke de inte bor konan cha juru ken te wat wankur waya yu kef kan dangwel right now lat ke jeno ka titka kuma SPLA yo ken detail long ken ka lat ken to konti la jejen bor ken SPLA yo but kalan jeno chicken de indin kon la de ni SSPDF de ni kem ya de chicken ga joj a chicken ngot gwad dan tiketen a ken ka korin ko kor ngor we kam dide na mane ya mele ro den tama a shirka men ngai kon diale ka kon ni dangro tinwe chana jelingan wo a shirka mi talk le shirka mobilization ka kuma SPLA yo kenetin kon la Nuer wayame dungdien melet kena wa shegula mobilization but ken wa we can congratulate ne wood ndanan cha kwany ala kwer man cha kwany ka Pij County ala commissioner Michigan show ko shineri wanchi go men civilian cha congratulate ko jen cha ja kwany ala kwer Nathaniel Uyet jen cha kwar wan cha kwany long tila kwaran kon tila kwar SPLA yo ko ngai kon diala medan chora lat ka gwase dan cha Nathaniel Uyet cha ja wuch te chutel option dodien garojen benetin konti la bondien be kwarken baga kwany so cha kwar kanti ni cha kwany kan kwar kanti to tonen tama war weekend na mo che kume SSPDF chikene guje no mlat kame Nathaniel Uyet ka kume SPLA yo chikene guje no meje ngai kana wono won chi kume SPLA yo jene che tol ke cha jadela nok yendo badan char keneje kuma SPLA yo kana control ko ende ni ngot ke kelo yal ka dakring machar gur ken dakring machar gwege jeno wurin chal ke Stephen Park college Ramadan dong noke but no Park college ni jere wi ke jubak karwade dey kelo jador ne diala konen kwa SPLA yo kwa support ka dor teram mo metere wi ke juba so mlero de meka penal chene ngai kone kurche tuongne gwa sedan you mentem right konen go kormetet ngai kon dialen go meleroda barteme chi kuma SPLA yo chikitel option dodi and then obi ka korbi kenenter ana kan kor kan neter chi kon dialen ngajen go nene ano de karodian dil mat ko de ko kormo de kenenter ka dobo gwane jen ko cha dakrama cha je yen chi kuma SPLA yo ne ka dialtin kon tinte gonten kon tigatin chi rodian dil gorno bu rodian mat bu rodian la dor ko dobo dan bunaw niam gaje ajen menen yen tama kuma SPLA yo cha rodian mobilize alo kwangan kwarken gotten kon tigatin ka kantine ko kuma mila kuma miteke structure won ka baje dak dor ko cha dakrama cha je yen chi kan guje no na me chi chong chikana gujino buga rodian dil gang bugan koro mo bikene zilter katerian ka shik woni kan ka woni ambad ma kan ka goten kon tekaten ajen menen yana tama chikoro to cha rodian to ko nyok ka kuma SPLA yo right kon men tama ano Nathaniel Uyet shakwar rodian cha nyok mo kwanyaja wuden chwal ka Alfred Futuyo e cha wuje kirme yadit ala commissioner dung yambio Western Equatoria chikondi ala ngaje ne Alfred Futuyo chaje wikaran SPLA yo woika je ngoda kan kor Nasser kan network atel mi shoda na lat no ka kor me chaje wuch chaje joj ka chaje gorno de janak to tel option de no broda barero jene koro la barke je benye kuma kirmi yadi benje pin kaga kor chaje gor no ko ne ka yambio dordan tetin ko kwar jinautin la deni ka goja ka tiang mi chaje la de SSBC television ngwas mo chu den chu dora ka barka je dora kan jishing de shukuri to kam den jenne dobe koro la barka je den chalar jen go bo dor badu chaje mak gwadana tetin kuma SPLA yo cha lugno de malderten but keneri cha undermine cha guje no ken ka powerless ke weak alo tele ka chonko de can claim de can alat jikaro de gorno de can ko de can tar yam yana ne tama yang wi ga social media de kon latke everything is against SPLA yo ngai kon no ti chika go ka chika talk ko kan itin kontin lat ke je ke kuma SPLIO especially nuare kan it kona naka ne ko gwazi dana ji kurche to jaga nasir meje chu dak pin we ka weniam na mo ke liu a plan me sha calculate a kin me yadit ke kuma SSPDF ye chu to nuare betu metkan ke che mangai kondiala so nkore me michiro lada ka tonja tama sha ngaje no ne cha kawani di shop ko wel cha ga kef ka cha ya gwele force ke ta cha ga kef ka cha SSPD ba cha ga kef so bu ko ngaje no di bani ngaje no telat korodian o ba SPLIO ba je weekend bara ina murai ko ne si kuma SPLIO si kan de ni SSPD si kan ga jo ka jo dana shalat si kan ngore wucin winami wa ka wura midida long Nathaniel yet Ramdana deputy chairman ka jen Ramdana la chairman atema met Dr. Machati reti jena awajen chetik de kele che jelat ko bene dial ba ka nyok madake ko bu kuma SPLIO baluch ka tugde ngai kon medan chora la na wal ne ka jen 2013 e chukorche tuok ne de kwa target medan kanware nakana kanware nakana ko ken kanware the reason why tukur ka jetine ke 2013 Ochi Dr. Machachi la do jen boro de chunga la kwar cha chulo do bi ba SPLIO bum form ka je o charik Machachi ajogo no jen chibula lo ka kuma men ta kem ya diten a jen kir poinde kene jeng elder council la diene jane jen advice da cha kam kit cha guje no chirik Machachi bute ka jen parliamentation boro dil mi ga party de reden chu chola SPLIO ala SPLIO in opposition chu dugna to chwa SPLIO Joshua SPLA IG ala SPLA in government the talk at the lat ke the plan akume man tikim ya dictating so ko ci to ka penal banyok mi yaramal mala sha de gujino dong deben ko tame shi kirm ya di choro de chulika cha jor ko ken che no le le no men ji Russia che de men economy so ngum ku yen expect te ka mal beben telemal ere ko dana chalat ngode telam din mi chalat kuide ngagne man dana shoda laden wale ka penal no engo a kur kam de ni SSPDF a gwelek force kana bishop ti charudin markel ke Russia ke wai ne ke ka wai ne ke inglis ne tin kon shal ke Russia kan it konen chana ma ka tunja cha chu kep ka wan dangwel ka cha ka chu joj ban ka jawda na chalat according to the report na chalat and it in content la ji SPLIO tin ka front line so na me de indi ala ngaj ka do ba le rode ja te kon ga le rodien bu kon lingwase me le ban lingwase me bana rach ka tiko kien te lat ka rodien you know a chana rach ka kwi kwang shorale jen a kwer andan la kef kwer and kef greater penal jen te ka jo me chala de call grow for Markal commissioner removal of office dispute Kwang shora legend take ne da kwany ne da to ko kwar no ta jugo no ne gurga jano bi wude chalke dio ja Michael taw wajen gurga jano jen de ja wuch ke chaja gur a chichul shulu ke shulu community kama Pij County Penal state shol ken no wude me de ja wuch you can commissioner no jin woje ko jena wate ka ti jegti chalat gore jena wone ne de Malakal town ke county Malakanti Makal de je wotre which member of the Shulu community in Makal County Penal state are calling for the removal of the county commissioner amid growing tension over allegation of a proposed coordination office in Malakal town. The controversy center on unconfirmed reports suggesting the county headquarters may be relocated outside of Malakal. We serve as the capital of Penal State, Malakal Municipality, and Malakal County. Mlingen Magwasame, Chalarino, Gurga Geno de Malakal County, Deja Wochere, Wika Malakal Town, Alo Deja Nangrar, Chachu Logonated Conila community, Dungshuluk. Gurkano, Ide Malakal Deja Woch, Laki Malakal County, Deje wire wika Makal jakula da kano chine gur anu deje nangwada dien ka kuja mogone yo ba commissioner Michael Otobul baje deal watch no Commissioner Michael Otobul was sworn in as the new Makal County Commissioner in June kwa ngeje medan ka Pai Bakel gwaze chuda me kwang chora le me ben kwara so jom shirkana me mi chora lat ka gwaze dan ka jom charat gwaze me Koffer among a community leader metere yikam makal chela do nene political figures are fueling unrest by spreading rumors to destabilize the area which has enjoyed relative peace in recent years. Kani shikan na gujen wotene itilat karwaine no de widar nyo morwale kani itiral gwad me dongde ka kani content latet karodian. There have been rumors of a plan to establish coordination office for Malakal County in Malakal. Amum say this concern us because Malakal is already part of Malakal County. There's no need for a separate coordination office. Amum say that when a community committee attempted to meet with Commissioner Michael Otobol to seek clarification, they were met with every security person. We found security forces deployed at the commissioner residence and we were intimidated, he said. The state security advisor was present and threatened us while we were seeking dialogue. Chikala do nene kene shaga chenga jek ko chikan lingono wade Malakal County ke Malakal County de jo wujere wike Malakal ka wa na me shimugwa community tada kene huma da ke Malakal ke je ka Malakal point de jen Malakal County. So munyodo me charge nangrar charge sung separate gurgano de nangrar iche de tere which they stay there dot ko de can't de nangrar jo mo ken no mo chi chuong chan jo me min ling be jo mo chikana lat
den mujtama ta mugata ni ne muqtanain bi kullu قرارات بتاعت السلطة الموجود في الولاية والسلطة الموجود في جوبا ونحن كنا دايرين يكون في بيننا حوار وتفاوض حول القضايا بتاعت المقاطعة فيما يتعلق بتنسيق اللي هم دايرين يعملوا في داخل المدينة. دايرين كنا دايرين نتأكد هل الكلام الماشي إنه محافظ عنده تنسيق دايرين يعملوا داخل المدينة بتاع ملكال هل صح والكلام ده كلام الناس. فنحن مشينا له officially كcommunity بتاع المقاطعة وشباب بتاع المقاطعة. هشام معترف في شغل، فالمحافظ رفض المقابلة بتاعت المجتمع ورفض كله إنه ما ممكن يتعامل معنا.
Jowling yana magwasame medana shalat naiti contin la community chikala do nene kanichi community chikana goro de karwach ke governor James Kwang Shorale ko de wude me de jawuj katadan en che mishkana me chejalat keje ka jow shalat gwasame. He added that the commissioner stand undermine community trust. He said he wouldn't oppose a government directive to establish a coordination office, which show is not serving the interests of the community, Amum stated. The community has seen appeal to Governor James Kwang Chol for intervention, urging a peaceful resolution. Simon Nyareta Ayek, a youth leader in Malakal, echoed the call for dialogue. No one opposed Malakal being the seat of the state and municipality, Ayek say, but creating a coordination office for the country within the town is redundant. The whole county headquarters is currently occupied by the municipality, while its original office are empty. Jowling and Magwas me Jordana Chala community Kachol can Governor James Kwang Shora Leno, there Mandana Chala the community dergeling. They can would a mayor. Man Gordon or they can they can't derge we come Malakal, you know, they jawit. So that can jow me ko Gorkan or the Rame de jawit, de jawilet. So Michigan me a chicken community chicken a jordaling ne contact of course ngay contact in content which chicken de negative content with but Gorgan wo de county de jawit rare ka jordan chalat gwasmene mi magwit kanen wo na me rek chimogwa. You know, tukon ga Jordan banling gwasame letter Micha Gor, you know, Ramadan and Laquer, banjeling gwasame, then term yang to the Jomicha, take over Gamicha Gor, dud kirmayadi, Mugorian or Dian Linkel, Kidian Jomadian Linguasmene. Kajomicha Quen gwasame, better Quen took English, Bella Jayo, Katuk Nuari, and no, Chela. Dear Adu Salva Kiir Mayardit, I hope this message finds you in good health and high spirit. My name is Terma Nyangadwit, a South Sudanese human rights activist and gender expert. I would like to extend my sincere congratulations on your recent appointment as senior presidential envoy on a special program. Although we may not have met in person, we are perhaps connected through social media. I have followed your journey and admire your intellect, passion, and potentials. I believe you have a bright future as a leader in our country. I write to not only congratulate you, but also with a deep concern for the current state of our nation. Your appointment has sparked both hope and skepticism. Many South Sudanese remain deeply delusional with the governance style of your father, President Salva Kiir Mayardit. The question on many minds is, what legacy will he leave? More importantly, what role will you play as his daughter and as a young leader from the Dinka community in shaping a better future for our nation? South Sudan today stands at a crossroad. Under your father's leadership, the nation has faced profound challenges: political instability, economic collapse, insecurity, and the erosion of public trust. As a fellow citizen who is deeply committed to justice and equality, I urge you to become a voice for the voiceless. Speak to your father, not just as a daughter, but also as a citizen concerned for the soul of our nation. Encourage your mother to use her influence to support national healing and inclusive dialogue. This country does not belong to one man or one ethnic group. It belongs to all South Sudanese, especially those who sacrificed so much during the liberation struggle. True independence is not defined by flag and title. It is measured by the ability of every South Sudanese child to access food, clean water, healthcare, education, and safe home. Unfortunately, the vision of the liberation movement has been compromised. Many of the leaders who fought for our freedom now seem disconnected from the daily realities of the ordinary citizen. I also take this opportunity to urge you to advocate the release of Dr. Riek Machar and other political detainees. A nation that imprisons opposition leader cannot claim to be free or democratic. South Sudan must recommit to upholding fundamental human rights and fostering genuine reconciliation. Finally, be aware that there are both elders and young people who are quietly working to dismantle your father's legacy. Whether intentional or not, this will have long-term consequences for national unity. I believe as a woman and a leader, you have a unique and powerful role to play in fostering peace, transparency, and accountability. Let us not allow South Sudan to become a forgotten crisis in the eye of the world. The future of our country depends on the action we take today. With respect and hope, Terma Nyangadwit. Terma Nyangadwit General Mimo, Mela activist Kemela Roj, Wargacha Gorguasime, Shole, Dudeno, Dera Rojka Gwan. Ko de gwan dara mal da je jatu wana jogo jena wo jin use ne power men da na sha kami gura no de mal de je no rewi ka South Sudan ne tin wan lep kene ji ngai kono no we dan te krik tin wan tuktin ka do badan en ba ke wike je nemi sha Ramadan en kum mal der kul ben gaje nemi chaje konlu chitke wo gorga jeno de Dr. ma cha de jeluñ jin jogo jin wona ne luñ Dr. ma cha ka gorno jin bitin diala kon tin ci gam bi kari aleka adut self kem yadi den cha jogo no jin ko tike future ki ram beler la kor ka gwasen be gorga jeno jin de akasa leader de tin kon jekte kon lat ke gur de ka woch no jane gore jeno de lari terma nyang joga adude no shen jongni jeno a congratulation to you kajan gwasman. Of course they jogo no congratulation. At the same time gore jeno take rikten kon lat ko rodien ray doaran ki ray wedan ko de gitin ka de jeg dalan kontin jeka doran no de ka wo ke doran ne South Sudan. Terma nyang jen she aduta selpke yadi te jogo no ray ni ka gur no gur ala ta dana cerwe keje cerwe jala ram jega long jen ko cerwe jala ram je gur jeno jin ci shoko shike de gor der te diala kono dong de mal der ben keje der la neke de no dong der gur jeno beten ko lat ke gur be galat gur jeno bi lenga no mu gur jeno bi mal ben challenge India lo kon lat ko rodi are weka South Sudan. Political instability, economy collapsing, insecurity, kana ta da en china den ngat kaje men chi officially ki lat kuma gwa ta da na shikane kon tila South Sudanese kan kan lokaje gore je en go jende kare alaka. And most important of all, di gurno di right to kiko ba Dr. Machar ba je delun. No. Dia gurno riang Machar ba je lun ajan do badan andong de mal der ben kaje cha dut self care cha je lar michit na mo go gurge jen o der mal der je gurno der je lat go ngai kon dia le laptok en wo birik bu ditin kwikir me yadit so mo kan ka kon address kadi di chet kadi ti tela do mi mo mi be mal ba ben kaje jen menen yana tama gor ka je war ga michit kana me en letter ki war ga sha gora dude o der je ngaje no gor ka je en go jen no ba mal ba je no re wacha ka so Sudan ko jaram dana go kan wang de tama en ideal michit kana me mishalat den termanyang bana le radian bana jelim gwaseme te ka jom mishalat ke kwi culture expert ke ta dana ngai kon culture ga je no sha jalat ko kor gwasen ben go sha jang no sha culture dan en la kana rut ka chaktin no cha je gorno jen ba je ban ke ba je kapchong ka kwi ko ken luke do te ka cultural expert michiro gwaseme wunwara kel mi bumbum bana jodo ban jelim gwaseme ka do badan en chalat ke je bukon linkel ko ngai content kon lat ko rodien wudeme jen Professor Daniel Shuk jen the Director of Development of Tangible Cultural Heritage at the Ministry of Culture, Museum and National Heritage. Jen Daniel Shuk jen ramkel mimo let ka ki culture ka nuare kuarntama ka cultural jela director ni man chalat gwaseme gente ka jomo cha kwen ka taye dan e chalat ka jenwo de culture de ka ban re wika South Sudan chet ka culture de jeran kon chudi lar ngai kon culture chud roda lat dor jani ano chete ka ngane jana dangraw tichi liu ka competition mutikaten ka chapten kon to ruet kan ka te ka jomo cha kulat gwaseme en deng nyal shoki Professor deng nyal show ban madan kilat gwasem ban jelat. The Director of Development of Tangible Cultural Heritage at the Ministry of Culture, Museum and National Heritage said banning cultural practice without understanding their value can undermine the dignity of communities and cause more problem. Daniel Chugwasme a jenene ano ba dur ba je wike ba je kapchong kanta dan lede kje kana kon ngach mala gwasme jenen janisha gwanu de culture de ja kapchong kakan men jega dana kujela yara kana kon address gor jeno de me jega mo de ja kon gujeno jega jen mo de woje cirka competition dar ci na ci gluten men jektin wode ci de ko bina bikaret donc de ko ne kan kamat karama dana be dormalil cirka men ci nga jeno garkel men liwa wa ci chak ok ti ci gujindagre bakel e ci kamat. Another thing kana wa culture and let kana o de randere dok competition dia na dok anga mibu dok nyam ke nga bichak te chikere to be kelilo ka konin diala content ka competition ngai kona mandan le roda chai gujino culture me mijak but chakulat gwasa me Professor Daniel Shone wona. Professor Daniel Shaw said, while the government has the right to intervene to protect life, authority must first understand the importance of the practice to the community involved. Izima come after the government of Arab State banned traditional fattening competition following the deaths of 2 men during the practice this month. The fattening competition is a cultural tradition in Warab where young men drink larger amount of milk and avoid solid food in order to gain weight. The person who becomes the biggest is declared the winner. Ngai konmedan shodalat competition jan medana chitwok aka Warab State kam ngane de tegurun de tot gwan mo mat kan shak kirut kan shak tala no tele kwen misham gutin and competition amo mat kan shak rodian kirut kan shakten so erwede mo joko big ngane dangro no bikaliu men gorga gwas me jene chala do ne rut kan ka shak je shobi kan rut antama but rut kan ke alo Ramadan ci dido ke mi ci na lañu ko dok ken kornin tin cha realika wa Ramadan Ramadan en ba declare no cha win ke jala winero ke Ramadan en ci ne dial chekleng cha jome cha jala no cha chu guj warap ki kum warap la kum janen go en culture mi ci na me ba je dil kap chong ka jo ram ci kana lat ka jo chalat gwase me State Information Minister Mamer Bat Mabok said the decision is meant to protect life as the government review the health and safety risk linked to the tradition. However, Professor Shaw, who is also the founder and executive director of Male Foundation for Heritage, Peace and Development Studies, say leaders need to talk with the community to understand why the incident happened and help them adjust the practice to reduce the risk. When it comes to banning cultural practice, people from outside South Sudan need to understand that it is not enough to judge based on what they hear in the media. They must visit the community, investigate what happened, and understand the root cause of the issue. Cultural practice are the foundation of that community. What is needed now is not an outright ban, but a process of modification and careful review. Banning a practice without a thorough assessment and without sending a team to the region to understand the situation can create more problem, he explained it. Professor Shaw also said cultural practice are part of national heritage and should be studied and preserved for future generations. He called on the state government to regulate them carefully and work with communities to improve any part of the practice that could be harmful. These practices are deeply rooted in South Sudanese culture, so banning practice without understanding it is true cause create problem. What we need now is to go to the state, investigate what happened, and understand how and why it happened, so that we can develop proper regulation and modification. He said. John kon magwase me man chalat nial Professor Shaw Professor Daniel Shaw chala do ne a janisha gwan wo de ja caption culture mission na mo chika culture rocha ga chiga dangaro shi liutene a janmen de gor kenyam de start ne de nije ke de gwini jan do badan en de jere alakaje shit ko tama de shulara no midong chakuto no michran mat ke chagalo bran beloliu men de gor kenyam de gor do mo de jama nice keje ko chiran che de red non ko men kan ngaje go bay de gwasme na da red ken ke dok wala red ken ke rochak je la question ne non me red ken ko chiran che dok okay de laro no ram mo che tedi che liu ko jen che dok che biyon ngai kona ala dok mijiak dok la redreje mi la jamu je tiol mi dilong en gwase mo meni yedu balariek jedu bo balariek so na mo la la je yanonga dung me dongte dulwal mu de teka che ka gwase da latken competition then dong de rande shure de gwase mo mi ka chagala tok de ka chu wasrar but chika chak jen dok andana dok ke ko jidi la tunye long ka ta da na chikan chak ga la point another thing can chicken mit ka kwan mishatal wa chicken cham melel kana karwade mat kana shaka kan nin diala tono ko bishu dog bu poni bishu barar ino jenta da deten de jogo no ne ngai kone malarana jogo no jin shurut ka chaga long bu judu ba kairar na mo chere ko do mala madin wan ko ken den ka piu ke whatever mala made wala jera la ja kamra jin mala na da ko je but ka ko kan gujeno traditional mo gwa ka kala kan compete dong te ko la kan ka tersen ke dong te ka kwakti je kan gaten ajen dong la kan na mela kan alet ke je but ya kula la do ne Professor Daniel Shaw ajana chaje de wo chaje de ban ka chala do baje kapchong ajang ajana mi chede no mo chagwa chaje de kapchong de goro de je study ke do budan dong de mi chede mo de kapchong aje jan do budan de gor dino cha de goro baje wo ka je wadan en chalat gwasme ajana mi chede no mo chagwa gwawo de na de ka jak ka warap de do budan en tire ga me te ka je ke do to ga je kono guch and then ka kore de na chulu njok ka mudana le roda so mi chikana me ladaje mugwa lung ko dong da jalar ka do budan guch kona no so jo me gurje no de konaling
tato milare ka yen wala ya bayar mai ka tunja ka Pij County ede idibor tito ka waini ka chako ka juj chaka kamne dan wol ka tigdien many tat kid many as SPDF many needy I know kan di alkulu kan bel mananan long da van ka kono gor kana men wan ba chong sine ke no jo modelariye SPLIO biba Dr. Yamachar
Muli kon jokatin kon alat ka rodian ka jan gwasame bana lo jokashington kon tin tuokre wishin winami ka apanal ka ta dan en let ko rode ke je chana ngaja gwan won walle ka shaga jandang jok ka pai badak ron kin dang ro jandang ro di che kormo choda la dre wishin binami an kormo sha jira sha de shop ko wel cha ka captain to kuma spela yo chi kanetin kontin la jor kon ya non gwa kur keten sha ngwanen wari kene ji spela yo cha ka ma gwa dan teketin cha la do ken cha ka jo na gwan menanan ka tunja ka sha ka kap ne ti shop ko wel ne wel tone ke ji kanet kontin la jor ke jira sha ton la ne ti bor cha la bono chi kanetin kontin la ji tila tet no chi kan ga kaba alon tema ne to ka titka kume SPLA IO kene jechen bor ngai kone kume SPLA IO shikana chicken kana la kana kemne mi kana kabi yo bi kan ka gorno ba kolon ba ka buko gwa dan tekten ba ne ritual ke tete mi chicken wore kan ka kep chicken ka pel chite me chan turun wan chan kanen gwa te na kan wore na kan katen tele ka ko de kana de kana pel ke de kan wore kana pel kan ngai kon dial tin kon la kan kala so me len kon ma gwasme ata dana chikur choda lat keje kimen to kor keje rai which ka penal an wal chikur mo chitok ala tok kam SSPDF kene kuma SPLIO gwan me chaka maktin en kuma SPLIO ka tunja chala de ne chane de to cha yo joj ka ta dana ngai kona mishu wi ka media ne ko ken tente ted jane kene ted de jigo no lat kene no ichiken ne de kontela kuma SPLIO chiken ga joj bar kuma SPLIO kan ka joj ko ne de to tila kuma SSPDF changa turu tel mi kan las online gwa dan ko tok tan ga ngai kone mite ga ti jeri kan galat la kan ga mala post bar yo mi kuma SPLIO ter korone ka do gwa dan ter kene je chikana gor no te ka mi banen chikan ta dan ci korcho lar ke je chikana gor no baje la de ken ko ngai kan no wona ne te diara ti tele kalon men dini jen o bnarudin gang self defense chi o to bnarudin liaka ko cha wo cha je ka kuma SPLIO ka jan gwasme kan cha step de en cha je kwan akane bi kan del te kor kane te kontela kuma mo rai ke kirmo yadit amene me cha dakre mo cha cha jalun alon dakre mo cha akel mo gor ke long anetin kon tin tila kuma SPLIO chirkama dana ngai kona no teg muk bana nyok mi bu kon long kamde kon kimde kon linga tama no men ban ling gwasme ban madana ci to kalungu shuk bana rudan update keje ngai kon madana to kalungu shuk jen a wuj mitu kuma SPLIO teten ka tu kuma SSPDF ten ka kor nin ten pai wo pan ka je ko linga no ci kor mo ci to are kore ci to ci kon ngaje no cha wuji chal ka lungu shuk cha ja kef a kuma SPLIO ne de content ray which antama ka jora na sharat awatene kuma SPLIO ten chikan de ne SSPDF chikan ka joj reak kama tiang town ka jora na shalat keje awa kurtu go kurun wang long ka ron mi shalat Paul Gabriel Ramdala spokesperson ka kuma SPLIO akani cha kurmo cha je loteneken chikan de ne SPLIO chikan ka magwa da antegaten wan wena mo cha chu jo jok chere mangai kondiale chaga jo ne gwa da nan bekaten ajen mo wona ko bna bu ko nyin amene rei gwatadan en la town ke gwatadan en tena tigetin ala gwada rei ga dan tena tin kama tiang so mi shit kana me kuma SPLIO chire mangai kone me rai ke Dr. Machar kan shoot kana longo no Dr. Machar alo ngaje gorkan war gantan wana long na tenelu yet teje kirma yadi den wo lon Dr. Machar reng Machar abrar 2018 peace agreement alat keje but charge ling roj mi chit kana mo look kirma yadi de ajen mi chit kana mene chebut wok ajen Dr. Machar jen te dor chejelat chole reng Machar no jen criminal yela no kure dan ci to kana sir Ramadan belke Dr. Machar but chanya wala no nene ci reng Machar Ramadan de bel point de kirma yadit ko kire Ramadan e jagde ne ka kana den konti winyin kana de kon tin la jechen bor tele reng Machar tele jele titin reng Machar ko lon kirma yadit ka facilitation do badan endong de majur de je lun ke je gwade dan e chaje kep ke je ko gwade dan ci ko je toktin re wika nasir no ka wi yara du je togo no cha de ni kirma yadi kan dia cha ka rot pin ci tani ci ren lat ka de bam te jel ka ka ala wulini no to ka nin ngwan tele kon ga tele piu no ka kore me ci kor me ci betuok chunaro ke kuma SPLIO kula la ne ri kon pin da ring machar ko de ka right ken Nuer wayami me chicken right ka je chu kana nong ne ga kel chu kala no ko telarek ba wude me ba jeluñ chawdu mo choy kamra chuni ne ka na kel chit ka ta da na chi kor chetwo ko je du no ko kore me chi rek machar me che do che re ale kanu de rande je nang chete ka de ne SSPDF to ko ken ti ma chi kana yot ajenu ko tin ana shu ma jur shu chuli ongwas mone gen ta da ne go ke jaga ja du mi rek machar me ram no go de ko de tin de je che de no go no bro ken wer wayami rek machar yan ka je ko jen aram kel milan Nuer ka te kel kanetin kon tilan Nuer ko jena Nuer chire medane shi kona ngayna wal ana ore kuma ka kirmi yadit ke 2013 wo target kele ko target Nuer mi chak gina Nuer kati kel ke machar ajiram ajin ene mi ke jin gwanter kirmi yadit batem ka jen gwazum milen ko ne dialati reng machar yan ga jalora cha yen je ko jen te der mi chalat yan ka je ka 2013 kano chi Nuer je che Nuer wayami chikan mat kanetin kon tila dini SPLA yo ke 2013 meje kor meje tuoka je gwade chan we cha nek tere wichin bine me ke juba me cha ka masaka me chi tuok chun we yoren chu bar bana chi guren bar ke je ani chi Nuer chi kan dele bet chu ka den chu gang kanit kon la dini ji Uganda amen dini SSPDF lan Malaysia ne nyin kem yadit keri den del ka jang bone na mane je ndo be dana chu kor chu tuoka je no barantama ko chi kem yadit je la duap ka jano cha mal cha jalat ke 2018 mo kwala chore peace agreement mo kunala te joren tem wana mo kelew awa Ramadan te gare e kirmi yadi chi reng machar che ono no der mal der jeno ballo kire ko ki che la long a jenen chen gurno ko ne reng machar benedil letkel te mi chalat okay mi che reveal ke che la ne dial linka all the speech in kon la lade so ka je chi je dit ka shenu ano ba kor ba nyo mutu ko je baka banyo mutu ko ka en kirmi yadi so da reng machar ram peacemaker ano chore which ka juba ne atelle de chenga kel ne de no dong bi malamo ba je respect akir but chango chejenok international community ba shikana gorno de gudu shalka me kirmi yadi de je jogono luny reng machar but chelok chenok raina amrai kone shalka nyade en kirmi yadi en go dere da reng machar dere jalon chirma ngai kone dere ka gwan ke dere tidia dere ka jako bi guru dere aleka ko mu e ken shi adut shemandan tika gwan cheja gak be chene ka gwan gati kon lede che gorno borai ko barik machar ba jalon so Sudan benyo ko meloje re kur mi chore benyo ko chore benyo ko mi je rodoten so ko dia lingene mentem nyina o gorga je en go reng machar de je delun reng machar de je delun and then de ka wo ka negotiation table de ka no gwa malka mandana gorke balat la 2018 peace agreement de ka na zelat ban mi jen ci mal ke bilet ray wi ka so Sudan so ti dialati wo bi mal beben jen do dan lat ke je but ko ko na twok sikante ko de mal de jelat but ko mes pela yo la gang ka rodien chirme ci kona ngach ci urien to ka gang na wal ci mente mo da gang ka rodien ko ko lin kon go gwasme o reng machar ba jeluñ mi chari machar cha jeluñ dio je ti dial de ko go but ci wo shal ga kirmi yadi de chejenok ka kujamo tike nyaade eno arach ka gwan a leadership danen dong der yalaka a gorjeno bejer yalaka ka beje exercise bo gwan beje convince ko bayeng machar baje luñ be mal be bere wi ka South Sudan miche jan South Sudan be ro ka long ka gwasen be jowo me am gorno de nyaga yakel me jiram jidit kan no 9 TV channel don changa nyam ko ji gorjen go jin dere subscribe ko de notification be ade je to comment ek ler mi ci berej da sho mala shu be kiji ajen gwas da ande kon chongtin ene bana nyogo je kala redien chuje puro jeno jin bi shar bi jatu bu gwas mone betemal bye bye ner malaka nyam ka nas diatin kontin barwanye lingwaseme atikon kala to goro de kon keling kaler ti bana kaling an wala shanga jandang diok ko pay badda kron kin dang rawi de jandang rawi de dich kaler bana link ti ke very important ke kaler to goro de randa ro de palping keleng dien bana racha ke kuma dung South Sudan getin kon lat korodien ke nyam jodan ban lingwasme bana racha no ke Dr. Benjamin Bolmel jandan ban tok roanya kon bana kulo ko ti ko ken an shana jeto gwasme ne Honorable Machok Majong from Kwachnos constituency bring this motion to summon His Excellency Dr. Benjamin Bolmel Akol, Vice President and Chairman of the Economic Cluster. He said, I stand to request that the second Vice President of South Sudan, Dr. Benjamin Bolmel Akol, be called to attend a special sitting of the Assembly. He must answer a question from Member of Parliament and the people they represent. This motion is made under the Transitional Constitution of 2011. As amended, we give Parliament the power to summon any public official. It is also supported by the Transitional National Legislative Assembly Rules of Procedures. We require government leader to give answer to this house. Since Dr. Bolmel became Vice President, there have been many public worries about security, the economy, corruption, and misuse of power. If not addressed, this problem could push our young nation into deeper conflict and suffering. Jowling yen namagwasa me ewarga mishagor. Warga mashagor and 18 content ka parliament ka kwi Bolmel. Wa Bolmel jen kanaman chol no wal kanaman chol a parliament ke ne kon members of parliament ko de joti ketin content charian lat. Shudodian Michelle K. Honorable Machok Majong from Quite North constituency. Jen che Bolmel che ja gorga che jogono go ne ka parliament ko take a table beloch. Take a question to be beloch the baling and ideal county members of parliament. Can ideal county interade. Ano. Kata dan in cheng wike je kietin chilare wich. A jene kan chagamu kalwang a transitional constitution HR latke 2011 me chalatke ron kindangred welkel. A jene che parliament che mo ka bom ki kalwang medi ko de kan any government official kiram molet de kan a cholakan daben. A chang jiram detail de yik chola parliament der te der boloj mo dong chi corruption chi jalat ki chi jek chi kalat no a kan me dane ku Dr. Bolmel ko ben wi ko am ala vice president te tin wan long ti chalat ti jagwe ko betenial maniam wa qui security ka men jagan talk qui economy ka qui corruption ka do dane ko power ko misuse ka je kan reality makan ka address no shingden ko let Bolmel use their power what it is chicken de go so gorga jeno batin diala konti lede and Bolmel ba ko ti teka ba man dan lede keten lede which ba ko which no sine konti la members ka parliament chicken jo me chicken laden go gor kan Bolmel ko be question ja pingwa da mtibe nyoga yekele kene gor kan ba ko loch no bana kalin kel. Main concern are Nasser incident. Vice President Bolmel and Dr. Riek Machar interfered in a military issue. The election led to more fighting and death in Nasser. Dr. Riek Machar was arrested, but Dr. Bolmel was not held accountable. Both should answer for the loss of life and property. Number 2, foreign troop on private land. Reports say Ugandan soldiers are living on Dr. Bolmel's private farm and working as his bodyguard, pay $200 per day. Meanwhile, South Sudanese soldiers have not been paid for over a year. This is against the constitution, which forbids foreign troops inside South Sudan without approval. Number 3, border dispute in Kajekeji. The vice president allegedly visited the border with Uganda with a group of people who may hold dual citizenship. This caused tension and led to the deaths of South Sudanese People Defense Force soldiers and displacement of civilians. Such action threatens South Sudan's sovereignty. Number 4, U.S. deportees. There are claims that South Sudan agreed to accept deportees from the United States in exchange for lifting sanctions on the vice president. Parliament must know the truth because the law requires oversight of international agreement. Number 5, Palestinian resettlement. It is believed the vice president is trying to bring Palestinians from Gaza to South Sudan to gain political favor abroad. If true, this is a dangerous decision taken without parliament approval. Number 6, road and infrastructure. The vice president is linked to a cartel that controls major construction contracts. Roads are poorly built and block natural waterway, causing flood and crop destruction. Workers and subcontractors are not paid. Payments are done with oil but not reported transparently. Number 7 is petroleum sector abuse. The vice president has taken over oil sale and given contract to foreign companies for personal gain. This has reduced money flowing into the central bank and weakened the country economy. Number 8, misuse of revenue and jobs. Reports show that money from the National Revenue Authority is diverted to private account linked to the vice president. Many jobs go only to his close friends and allies. Number 9, budget abuse. The vice president allegedly controlled the budget and financial bill for personal interests without proper parliamentary oversight. Number 10, abuse of power and arrest. Prominent leaders and businessmen have been arrested without fear, trial, some due to personal dispute with the vice president. This violates the constitution, which guarantee justice and due process. Number 11, fraud and loan. The vice president financial dealing, including fake check, money laundering, and black market currency sale, have worsened inflation and harmed the economy. Number 12, political rally in Wow. An expensive rally was held in Wow, costing millions of US dollars in public fund, while other regions were ignored. This misuse of state resources unfair and illegal. 13. National basketball team crisis. Funds for the Bright Star basketball team were blocked. Player and coach went unpaid, and South Sudan faced international shame. This neglect betrayed the youth and violated the constitution call to support the sport. Honorable Speaker, these issues are not rumors. They are real concern from the people of South Sudan. The Vice President must give answer to his house, he said. In my duty as a representative, I therefore move that the second Vice President, Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, are called be summoned to Parliament to explain his action before the people representative. This letter written by Honorable Machok Majongjong, constituency, Kwachino South Warab State. Tejek dialte konte shalat Dr. Benjamin Bolmel awaka to goro de Bolmel de jetikaka. De tika do badan token keja. Ano. Kamen ya man shagu jeno shayar Bolmel man gorge jeno dera woloch ka parliament wa me rege dana ci to ka Nasser. Rege ci to ka Nasser no wa ci vice president Bolmel kana Dr. Machar wa ci gure mat ka do be dana ci military ci to ka ja. But mo gui kono nodi bul mele jara medan e jagdeñi me ba na me ba kulo nak na me wa de jo tikeje ngum yen kay Dr. Machar ka kan bul mel kana kon yen ano ko bul mel ram chiro de chen interfere ka te kon e tok wa de je tie point ba na me wa mi je ko eno de yen Dr. Machar ka wa da ka pal ka bul mel wa na mene chet ka chuang tin na me gore jen o jen am bul mel de je dil yen chet ka man cha Dr. Machar cha je yen ka de je tijba ka me ja ko baro da nangten man riena chalat ka kwide am bul mel rewde wajen chenetin kontin laji Ugandan chega nungre wuch wa Ugandan soldier wa tema teka ka gar shal ka me bul mel teka dor bul mel alo chere mel lat kan ka private farm jen gwa dan tegatin wa ka netin wan long wa pande kane ko ni no laji Uganda laram ke laja moja ga yuri shop ka kudang ro dollar ka chang gwad mo de ni South Sudan kan dia shu ke la SSPDF la kana welo cha ko mo ka yo ka korune tele makam karan wana mbone awa yere men cha gor ka bongoni kana gor ka bongoni no jin bi for ke ne di jor be ka mo ka yo bne ko be ko fal wana men erode ka cha lo ko je point bolmel gor ka jen wadare jawlat ko wa kana approve a parliament and tadi and antegare which ka South Sudan ka je ki dore man diodin wari ga dana ci to ka kaje keji ngai kona ki ko tore by president poinde bolmel wajen ci ko Uganda ka gwase dan wa mi chotino ne jen wa che gorno ba kaje keji ba jenan anetin kontin laji Uganda ko ngai kona en kaje keji te ka liet ka te ka kwakton wante tin ajene ko kor ko lenong ka shuna chuno ko binati shop ka well to wunyam tilade ne SSPDF shu ka lieutenant kor mone ka shuna iti shop ka 16,000 people chaga displace are kore dan aname togedi no ko sname wajana jen wo ka border ka chu kor shu to ka border ka lunde jok jagu jeno na me te bolmel te ga do ten dar jaben lar ka parliament Manadian a Drobadan and she GUS Merkeme she can ne kin kan nongre which ka South Sudan ka je ne tin konti la chur ke nang nat ke loy nat ten cha yen ka Merkeme ka cha no ku me South Sudan no ba ka nongre which gor bon mel no dare je blad gwaseme no ko en bon mel poinde jen chaje sanction akuma merkama no kene di en go ba ne tin kontin tila jimerkama tichiti jeglat ba no ngre wich tele parliament tele ja approval tin ke kan kana konmat wana meni do international agreement go re parliament la na ko na nyurtin kede to ka karodian yala kana open dijen men de tike je ta dana cha palestinian ne sha kala do ba no re wik ka je ka wa point en bol mele wajen take titten a wajiram nana goro de palestinian ne de no re wik ka South Sudan de kan ga Gaza de no ga South Sudan ne mo mitedi cha gor no ba je tike je min me to ke kach ngum ken parliament ken la leron en go tike ne ba no re wik ka South Sudan anyok jen point de bol mel baga jodan chalat gwas tinaro ke kwide ka kwidop la drop kane doron kon latke wajen point de bol mel awa jen jaram dana lengu melet chare jen wati ke company men ku chare la lat re wike South Sudan chare wa ba chare la de jegalong lo gor je en wo ba de je ti system dan en le dan wa ka je me won ka je jegalong no ka jeno jega yutu wan ke yuru kon la yu South Sudan wa ka je gor jeno ba je ti anyo ne ti ala kondi la ladba wa ken chicken yu chicken ga je la ken tenaka peter real mi jegrana chaga pe gwa ka jeno yu di ala kontin kwa pe ke ken yurun kondi la yu South Sudan tin je ka liet wa gor jeno dare jawlo mera di na wa dung petroleum ka by president poinde wala o ya la kana la ko ga la jen be ko ka company nying foreigner ke foreign companies mi ke ko ga yo ba la ku ya mo ke ken kapin wajen mi yer central bank ta tele yo to wutin ko yo la kana waka je kana man ka din ko ne ngaja maradian wa latin ko ne jere wi ka South Sudan cha ka je no wa national revenue authority la yu la kana bu ko private akane kana yer to wa kana vice president bolmen let the altin kon jegala jobs we ka close friend masneka kana netin kon la kana mat tigane dial je ko jegala donne pin bolmel nika gwade dan anyoga wa budget abuse la do bodan en la budget la berar ke je wa point en bolmel jeram dan ku budget ku je control la financial bill the key personal interest wa te ke je wa na me tele parliamentary tele ka ngaitin te goro jeno ba jo tejba well yana wajen che abuse of power kai yana na point. Prominent leaders and business have been arrested without fair trial. La ja yan ka bol mel ka charge betich. One me ko constitution ko ja violate. Ka constitution cha goro jeno ba tok ba jelat. So me charge yen by nan ka court and then by look a pet by malien by malun. After that then bu but me jeram gondwer ba yen but na me wa kan bol mel kan jelat cha goro jeno bene dial kontin. Don't tag is key ball point wa gor jeno be ka la ka yene ka den no anyo gwasme wa bol mel jen la kwak la ka tube sit ke yo including fake check money laundering kana black market currency sale wa te gane ngwana kwa ka yo ba ke shode teacher ya la ka pin so wa jen economy which jen yaramo mara dia na wa jen te ga michelat te ga ral michelat ka wa cha million of US dollars chaka lost in Guatemala ke chaka west and it kon la jang political rally in wow na money wa ngum yere yo ka je wa na me misuse of state resources ka do mi shajan do mi jek wa man do dian gore de ti ka je boni national basketball team wa kan chaka mo ka yo ne ken kontin la kwarken wone kan it kontin la ngar coach and players wa tel mi je kana changakel was South Sudan face international shame. This neglect betrayed the youth and violated the constitution called to support the sport. Ano ba kura baje neglect ke baje yor golka ke wa dungwana magwa maja wike wenyam ke winmon wa che South Sudan te jago be poch adwo be dien menche kwakche ngun ke jamone abejne kontin langar kene ko ni ken bu yobe kan ke jegeja ke jo chalat gwase me jen gude shal ke me wouldn't cool right gwaseme honorable machok ma jong jen chelado jeni duty mila dundan kone konte tila MPs ni ano bi ko ramishimi jeglat bana jeti chikon bi gwinja lora bang ko jeni kwer mi dit kala ti chodian lot ajana be gor ke jega parliament baje biti tem right kon ti diala ti wa te ba ti ka bon mel te pay kon ka lingte goro jeno ba jo ti ka ta dan en chiting wan children lat ke je ko wa which je take corruption medi so jo me amishalat re wichin gwinemi goro de kon dial tika ngaitin ko do dan en chetwo ko je te to ngwana long to goro de kon keling gwase me le do dina ban nyoga milling kone re wika so sudan chane ngajeno take competition michitwo ka warab state gwani mo kong na karyang ko ngam kike duk wan tame shi ne kon la jang chicken mishir na mo yana kapchong kana shaje gorno be competition me bangorwe ka woni amten ku me mentere wika warab state chicken ladno atuga tame cha traditional fattening competition chaje ban ka korga mishine dangro shikaliu ne da to ka ne to konti la jang ke ngani jande ko lar ngani jan ne ko ne to competition ke tin chaje gujeno de kan kon karyang lakan la rut kan ka chak la dio je la ka roj mi kan la gwasme kan ne kan ram ke la mo ka cha gok ri chup gen dang ru bakel ka be kan dial be kalil so mi chit kan me awaje ka cha ko la da comment me kan kan traditional me shi kan lele shi kan kap chung kan she be continue ko je na kan na ni je ngane ke na kan je wuj watch comedian kan jang shi kan goro no ba je kap chung. The government of Warab State has announced an immediate ban on traditional fattening competition after 2 men died while taking part in the practice this month. Akene chikana yi kapchong mishirgana me. Minister Mamer Bat Mabok Jalado Nene. Chene decision kan ko ba tik ba je protect ba heldinat ba je jagamagwa lo gwana pol point ko dong brand barodo nak chit kamene ti na karodian ko brand ba je ngajeno jen ela rude chaga long no kira mimo. Malaro mi milene ideal na meni awa dorejen ko de na de ken liu ko chak gorge jaba ngaje no ngam mi chit ka judgment dit ke ngam mi chit na meni awa nonsense. The fattening competition is a cultural tradition in Warab State where young men consume large amount of milk while avoiding solid food in order to gain weight. The person who becomes the biggest is declared the winner. Now mula kana alad kan chika na mito kwa la root kana shakarodian anana titene ke young men logono de tun ken de nyodi kos kan dokana long mi wone ni je tike jaati di long tike barar kan ay kono no dok rek ma dran cha ko bi jirbe barar ke bi point bi dit changa kon ci rana cham nay kono wude me chala ba ko la gor jen che liu no ke jen chang ko wan paiwa ke jen ta ko ngana mona ka ma jok ton katel kem ajara merode men ci liu ka kor pada mene kora medana joge chiwe tenya ndangro ke twena agas un mishala mayol manyel deng no mite ka run jandangro badak chwelu ka kwije da ko ci jeje che te complication de itwokten anyok chude chalka me muko kon loy ka kwire me chala ba wala gor chwo nyoko liu pan kaje so na me chagu je no bam chitna ma ba ya kapchon aken en mun ya kan executive director che jawlat gwasme ajane ko michit kana me traditional menak na ke this competition amas na ka chaktene with ka chak ka bar burano e na babeliu akan traditional mijek mara harmful de del kapchong china de wo nyamten any traditional practice mijek jala kona la ni shangano mi yarna ba je del kapchong china bo ka je bate ka tana ta mala goro buka wewe of course culture to wan mugur kon bana kapchong de kapchong ko di ken yer kan kon ken jeken so ko kuje mo de yik ban ki de ka watch ko mi ka ti jega la tok ma ngum de gwa ko de na wo woni amten chik chicken go de ga del ka chonga ti shit ka tone gor jeno de na de ka gwitin ka duptin kontin de na de ko nyam ka je ko jeka any traditional de yik ban tan mi chena me chana la let ko ne dial e chima jang ko de na men wer gor ko de ko na kapchong ano brand bar yanga ka yo berek bejo jek kiene traditional practice de la donne chima rut chakar wade menang na ka jang no rest of the thing tin jeg de ga yego kangu ka tradition ko jega and a harmful thing te ka traditional de jo wuch so jo me gor jano en wode conling ler de na bana nywa gwaseme mishala the minister of youth and sport chikala do nene lat kana wona ala community tournament wajen will no longer be play in Juba starting next year due to repeated violence by fun. A lot of we could Juba chala do ba competition ba ka kapchong. Competition ala dung kureka. A kanishina ebulat, a kitchen ebunogono ba jelat. The decision come after a recent incident of violent attacking during tournament organized by various communities in Juba. Take a competition mashallah rai Juba and 81 along and competition amo chwana ko binar nyintin. You know, what competition, a football competition, ngay kon lat katin. He said the ongoing peace tournament in the capital will continue until it's completed, but no similar event will be allowed again in Juba after this year. A general competition down the road at Temare, which South Sudan, be Yugo, but Janaka call Ungaman be tell Michelle can will take a competition ballot, a football competition. Can you share to work Michigan? So, na me Mr. Ban ka do badan en shagu ge jendo ngwani na Carodian ke mo Carodian board no mishit kana me shegwa ke che chong en ode na de kan wi nyin gwa kuraka ke de na ren nak mishit kana me dio je we are familiar ka te chirkin en go bana bu ngar ka kuraka bana ren nak de ramagwa no na me emijia gore je en ode na de kana ngar alangar a friendly match mi motelo binaro nekten binalo moy boten manam de ramagwa emije gajen cha ko laro ne re wi ke Juba communities tournament football tournament cha gor chimnen nyen magwa di ne no cha kwam cha ka tul no pim na rodien ma wona chine la ne te mo ga ki ne te dero nek no one me jega Dr. Ake say the government has agreed with the state governor that future peace tournament will instead be held in the states je jo mo cha jalari no ala kwer kur ka Michelle Dr. Ake chala do nene a jani ka agree kan state governor and go ba tournament ba ka kapchong no ki em don temlat ka ba jalat ke state government ke balad within the state. We have agreed that with the state governor that all future peace tournament will be held in the state, not in Juba. The governor will be responsible for making official requests so that proper arrangement can be put in place to ensure the tournament are peaceful and well organized, he said. Michit kaname, and about tournament kapchong dio je kapchong, but why don't they provide security? They can secure me they can jati wana ko dong ba go jeno binat ba ngar kurka dung pola point ba de kapchong. Of course be jelong no bingwan bu go nyin la na take a decision ko me dong chinaw nyin chi chaga longa control police ne. Yes, they are sure no they can deal ban and dung kur and football competition among communities. Ne many there am go ache jek ka kwi 70 kan end yalan content wano. There go abo kan dialan o mite mi jeng chanen ga kure de ja kap ke chong. No matter am chibeno kira malara mono ina me gwaye de na wo ni amre kure ka so mi na me chagwa. Chana mi na me chana jeling gwasme. Te kon galera din mlen kona. Gwada me mishalat ka kwi police ni rei which ka Sudan Major General James Mande Enoka Jiram Dan da spokesperson of the National Police chela ro nene a general revitalized peace agreement rei which ka Sudan che police penokan ba ka recruit ke ba ni officer ba ka kwan ko ne tin wan lo ga jen wo weekend deka la tana da ngino don ba ko la de jek no Major General James Mande Enoka said in a exclusive interview, he said the peace agreement contains restrictions that stop the recruitment and training of police officers. General Mande say this has caused a staffing challenge within the force, making it hard to meet security demand across the country. He said the police force has seen no development due to recruitment freeze. Training, especially continued training within the police force, has been halted, and it is not just the police. Other security agencies have also had their training program frozen under the peace agreement. He say no more to training and whatever, he say. That means no further development of our security institution. As a result, we are not allowed to recruit or train new personnel even when it is urgent needed. This has created serious challenges in maintaining law and order, he said. So, Joe Michikana Memlin Koname, Quaran Cap Guasimo, Chairman Cap Police, Chela Nene, a Janishana Peno de ne Polin de ne trend, Ray which Kajuba, Kakui 2018 peace agreement done each time, Cochalado ba rule the Albaga Dil Gore, a generation mention a Peno Bene let Benekalat Ray which and when a minute. A generation a mistake Michit to Anteme or Dong Chinachika Qua Dong the police de get watch a look on Naka police. According to a reptile peace agreement each time, wa pen and now now with William. No, but on Banangajan and I can no long material one lot key police ne, Tana Lanaka wet corricated one lot Carodian. Take a member you kill Guasman Biakulangajano Umela Roda. chana jamelin kel bane ko do bran en chetuoga je no ngai kono no en police recruitment che jega no de police de recruit but mite ka gwamba ko nang tin chet ka gwa kore sha gwa cheden ngai kono la toga no eno bana ba ga nang kor ngai kono nat de nang kor di na la ka nang ka kor ko wo misha ngaje no shi de ni shi ka kwe ala special SSPD mi chika kwa den ba police ba kan ba nan kor na mo chene tin wan chega jaga jadwal chana report me chan jemeling na meni ami beba kake na chala le wona ne cha police shop ka badak tela driver ki gere ki ne la ger ka torbiel wa kan shaka nan ka front line ngulu de mo front line gwa kur police dang badak ti wala gere jegalong wa chaka kef kan dang badak chaka nang gwa kur chaka nang front line ko bugo kur yana milling report me man chala de ken polin nang ga front line di ke gwa kur ke front line di en chaka nang tano the director of ICT and supervisor of the Joint Operation Force said that his unit recently deployed 8 police drivers to the front line as punishment for reckless driving in Juba. Major General Mankain said that the action aimed to enforce discipline within the police forces. He said since he took over the ICT role in May this year, he introduced a standing order that no police vehicle should operate without a force member and an officer in charge on board. General McCain said there is now a speed limit for all police vehicles and violations are dealt with seriously. The 8 drivers were arrested for misconduct on the road and later sent to the frontline punishment. So many economy ne dang badak shaka yente la police ne. Chaka ndial chaka yen kame shaka yeno ka gere jega teka chaka nanga frontline. So me chaka nanga ka nasir no sha nan ka nasir gwa kur wala sha nan ka western equatoria ke gwadan cha nan tino kwadeje ke sha nan ba ka wara gwada antin nuer tikitin ko den michal front line ke le wo nyin nuer go tene go kende nyen era mo me ja ka juba cha mi chele nan front line nan ne ja gwada antin nuer tikitin ko bi go nyin ka nuer so kan polin dang ba daga ti wa punishment la mala tup ke kan ta magan jangre which no mi chimi jak chelet ka dong chi gere jak ke chimi jak che gang ne kontre which la jakan ke ba je kep ba je nan ka front line ba nan ka nasir nan ka men ngwan tien mi cha je ke ba nan ka front line jen ji kana lel gwaz men no cha din folin dang badak cha ka kef ka cha ka nan ka front line right now chana men lo jok e jok lat kana no tele recruitment laska no bana cha chak long ne je shang kene kon SSPD avantam je chana ilen ka gwade dan no kene gor ka recruitment gor ka ne chok 3000 de let ka machal ke riverin ne de le la din la jel ke je year to cha luk ne de shin lok te wuchu de ka ke ngad ka de chal ke UN peacekeeping force ne chok ke kit ka roden 3000 to changaran changa single apple ken wa ken ro garpin ko china ti dwal komi shi wode ka ba nan jire ko boli on gwada mi waram dan the one who train you jatan gwada mi enjoying life yini gwada mi ko struggle we live ka shode ete ga country we jaka stable ko ne go ken ko lo nak so na madara mo go no shi mo go right now right kone chala do cha polin dang badak cha nan gwang kur ka gir en je kan la gir ka kere wi ka juba jen mananga tong mi cha nan lor ba nan ko ken kane cha gu jeno na kana re wi ka juba so mi jiram chi mi je lat ka juba ba jen nan as a punishment ba nan gol dan den were gten bu nyi ngan were ngene mi yo mu kuro do we jagat jana ka mu goro je jen do dan let kene jam manam bo je ga long shi mo go ko were kan cha je go no kane konte dong la na punish so mi mo je ga long chana jo me chana nyom len kono Ray weekends also done chala donate chop ke kisne bakel. Over 6,000 people missing in South Sudan. Neri chop kin dam bakel te chibat te chagwat ken chaka nget ray weekends also Sudan. Ka jom chalat gwasame ICRC. An official with the International Committee of the Red Cross say more than 6,000 people are reported missing in South Sudan. So much it can me one eri chop ke kindang bakel shika badare weekends of Sudan kwa gwaten kon ticketing. Cha kwinyo gwa dan ticketing. A guardian ticketing nobody know. One me this Kama South Sudan joined the rest of the world in marking the International Day of the Disappeared with a report of thousands still unaccounted for in the country. Every year on August 30th, the world observes the International Day of the Disappeared, a day of remembering, reflecting, and solidarity. This year's theme is missing but not forgotten. The trend is linked to ongoing conflict, widespread migration, and what the ICRC say is a growing disregard for international law that govern armed conflict. When discussing the number, the figure generally remain around 6,000 each year. Cases are resolved and individuals are located or identified. At the same time, new cases are opened annually. We need to be realistic and transparent about this ongoing situation. Currently, the number of cases remain approximately the same, 6,000 people missing. Irman Sabed is one of the people searched for a missing family member. His stepson disappeared after being taken to Malakal for military operation in 2014. My stepbrother's son James Benjamin El Kamas went missing in Malakal on February 4th, 2014. He was taken from Juba for military operation because he is a soldier. I was able to communicate with him for only 3 days. On the 4th day, his phone became unreachable for reasons that are unclear. I have searched multiple locations, but I have been unable to determine his whereabouts, he say. So much it can link on me. Alani it wanting bas a walk in Malananke, Banangwakur, a kumikim yadid. Baganangwakur, and then book up at Tana dong bas can quick curry, but most of the people didn't quite report Guasame, walking it in corn, tin, dong shanangwakur. And honor. Chikamishalen Guasame go take a dole me. Ke jen 2014 edan wajen China ngwakur ke Malakal and gwa the money mi China ngo wana ga chob da choti ke nina tot after that chutal poni cho gang ni je jen shuma na wala kene jek kuli wala choni teram ngaje tikan jo mo jikana lat kene mi shit kene me an obna bika bat na ka chagot ken cha bla de kume aware ngdi of course ngai kono no kor ngwan na kana kineri ngwan china liu Chablaro, which talk, of course, Liatin, and a committee talk, Lana Liu, especially Melakalan, where can it contain Wamakana can wear. So much you can wear ma chip and wear man wear became an ex, so meet him a lot. But you can call it on a 181 batka berry wiki juba. Nuer batka, a quarter and a batka. Quite got the corner wicketin. Nay, come don't I kept in and wakur, then bobak. Don't charging you come do Juba, then buy another Ramakuji. A one near shop ke, Kinadang Bakel and Tama, quite a gotten content ticketing, Rayuka Sudan. Ripon the Altica de Charlotte, and no she could talk. The quite a doberdan and dong, de Karialekaja, Chirimantic Challing Guasman. One thing work and missing person, Raywiki Juba. Key around South Sudan. Can it eat in corn at Michigan, can it corn till International Red Cross, Native Contilla Nala can car gourmet chibat, and on a lot can know chin one chick about the long a different story. In the end of the day, Shaka Jikan ideality, Teram Lajika. So Mumela order. Oh, China chicken deer getting in Contilu. Kum point a deer getting in Cornelu. The new point can chakuni special most people was manage our 6,000 loss. Canada Montilla to Ladinium to quite chakuni. Don't go keji, a sheer more, Kajin don't charge a canala kumino charging a yum chow gurgaji yo, Baularo and Avachan and Guadman, I deploy with a man. You know, Chitere, till you Guad, nobody know where you are. Kachukum, they don't keep track of their soldiers. They need contact a coding, imagine no data. Michiran been charged, then the telephone they can go at it in unit, the car working. Then you miss around the Benny go around Balar, what you in a chilu, while trade Balar can watch Ranchilu, but well can call at can watch an article. Yamnanian Tame, Nedikini, Dangbakel, Shikabat, and more than that, by the way. Number one, Tana chicken should carry cross, what a con la report could have to put in. So, Joe may dear link a dobadan and Chetwaka, and a Kongai corner longono, Revika so Sudan to one ticketin, Kori, Tin corner lat Corodian. Lerodian Bananyoko meet you a corner guasame, and no, Canadian corn, tin, la gang, Nicolarno, led jack. Tana Joe may change linkel. We can normally shallow shane the shuko but that teacher suspect an okay gang members. Watch a yen coach can police officer. She can do it. police inspector re wikin numali chikan la no ne dang badak tila gang ne ke je sharp jeng ne wa ken cha ka yen ka kor ka mi chikan police officer milet ke immigration officer ko chikan do wa cha ka yen wa ramadan en cha yen ka gad te karuni jandang ro wa karuni jandang jok ram kelte jandang jok cha ka yen ka friday gwa dana chi ro den tawten wa chi ro no chot re ping pam no ka wala kana bibuga na bikan ga match kan this gang members wacha yo kap cha chu yen wa tel kun ti to kan mai kan ka gwat duno doy kana keria mishranu we kudian bikan duet so chicken police officer chicken chu duet a bamon ke bata ka bot and gwada mo chu court chu order chu to no gore ne di chikrtin wan ta cha ka yen ka mishkana mo e ngum mishkana me what reality token along some time ko tori kana makwe tana ngade onene recently take mishalat no dio je ko kon re wiki juba te kon ka gan wer de cha tisha kef no aneri kontin lana laken gang da dop waji ken mo board di de long tanin ka musician ka kon so ne to shi board di chi kan ga jek I was reading a post ka media dung biakel media no te panan me cha muy ka bot ka cha ren cha muy ka bot wa bot di long kare wi ka juba wa te ka dulwal ko kana wa cha kep ke yamne a ken gang members so an gang aluna mo cha palwi cha she mane ko shadier ka te ga dara wo dara anu nak ke de janat chikan dieten na ko ya be yom dang tire ke je yobi chaman ko ya isa gada cha muy ka bot ka jino ci radian ci wonak yo wa mi yang ji yob na bukarwal so mi chit kana me ala gang members ka South Sudan mi jegalong ko ken ladien ke li mat kana kwang tan den milat kana mas kwang ke li wono mon so mi chit na me de je kula kap chong de ba je kap chong gwada dan enje sie mana ken chiga step up ke bikan gat ken bikan ka kap den mo der gwalong der ander gat der ka kap mugwa but jin mi shiga be kap den ba gwadi te bugwa so gor jen oder anda gada der je realeka ana gwada titino gor charm gwa chi juba karwade everywhere tamra yika so da ngai kono no chi chiang chabach kane de konti la geng ko ken burga we be ken ji dwaj kana kane wo kwale ken jel ken ka yam jel ken ka ngamne ba ko le gora na ne de kon la family ke pare ne ken wo de ka yikol akuma ka ba gat kun gadun waje je te bugwa ka je dio je dere kalong anyok bo mi kum je wujugo no ne ti chaka kep dere ka mo je kala te le to ngande ken kala ene kuma ke li mon mi che chwerche je ki gar mi chimi jegla la ja kebe be de la let be de lat anona be ji wire be chot be te ken kam be jek be te gar ti tor be jek ten ban mu palna kana ba ngana cha ke bi run ba lu nyurun ngayen damage bo da community damage mi din mi cha de lon ka makap ti chong so gor je en go de nat de kan cha ten mi shit kana mena jawdi diana ban len gwa same ku kwan en cha nangre wi ke juba kwana mo wa take a portion ke kwan mi jek mi choda lot but wa chaje cha ka lo jok to kwana to wa be ke kin nunga kare wi ke Uganda bana jo me bana jelin kel ko do badan en cha nunga ja re wi ka juba la kwan ngwa la ka nangatin anta ma chala do ne ya torbel dang jok te kap ke nup numay taba wa chaga lo jok numli border chaga kep ka chaga lo jok 3 truck carrying contaminated maize flour expelled at the numli border chaga lo jok ko ken wa chi kemi jek chi kana de nangre guch no the South Sudan National Bureau of Standard has expelled 3 truck carrying contaminated maize flour at the Numili border point. In a statement issued in this morning, the agency said the truck were on their way to Juba when they were intercepted and tested. Quantity wa kan tarwil dang diote wa Juba kan Numili chwa yo kap chong chwa la phone nubu dana nankare we chwa ka test ke chwa go gwich. Chwa nang laboratory chwa jagono ken tikan mutual ka inflatoxin. Na many de ko lar chen mutikan ka tor la michi ngari che jenka gwaber la nubmo la jega wa michi ka chamana de kana de kan kam kariek enon inflatoxin are group of toxin produced by certain fungi. They are commonly found on crop like maize and peanut and cotton seed. According to the U.S. Food and Drug Authority, they are linked to liver cancer. Tichiriti wa moy kanas ka joyen chalke cancer. Michi la liver cancer me joy chwan. So michi chamman gwas mo be mo ke joy chwan michi na mon. Wane me chagwalung an wode kum Uganda de kan let kan kon la South Sudanese. Ko me ba kwandi chi jek te kan te saken ba ga nongre wi ke bu na moy kerek der kulo gwa wala jega. Of course jega liver cancer joy me bej cha nyok mul wanga je ngai kona joy chwan cha je lonka mulo jitin. So cha ne ti cha ka lele cha ka condemn kamen jega dana chikana lat. So cha kan trang dang jok tini cha ka lo jok ko kana watikan ke jen joy jega mo michal ka aflatoxin ke mudong de na de ko mo ke joy chal ke dana mo ke liver cancer ke joy chwan. Chinetin kon tin let ka South Sudan tin gang ka tin nat ke ku kwanten jegre kon nang re which enona chala do chicken am toton chicken ke self ka chaga lo jok chalo ne we dien ne Uganda. So jo me gurno de yen ling jin mi shub ne ka the last time right now tell de ki ko ling ler tetine me jira me jidit gwaseme enona Ken Nuer online TV channel gore jen go jin dir je nyak kaneti ko kien ko de ler ti de ken chamala chu gwesni tin gor kon ken go de ko ten ti chalen gwasa me ken kon lat ko rodien re go ka South Sudan to goro de ran de ka ling enishia mi ken subscribe ka jen Nuer online TV channel gore jen go jen de subscribe ko de ti dal kon lat ke de ken chamala chu keje Tilote the lonko chana gwad chana chup and wala chanya nang dioka pa badak on kin dangro jan dangro rawid dich and the manduna chan kodnyak and biata kamal ban nyo jigla rdian. Bye bye. Where SPLA-IO, acting chairman and commander-in-chief of the SPLM-IO, Nathaniel Oyet Perino, working mile to organize his forces in one of the front line. Nathaniel Oyet jen chajen chaware duar. We mobilization we jalat ke de nitin kontila de ni kuma SPLA-IO. Nathaniel jen shanen gwasman go chakor shajangok. Akanitela mado dien bikana lat gero bika kor bikana ter. Namani amil harode hentama. Nathaniel Oyet jen chanete wan chaka kwany nete kontila county commissioner. Re wika South Sudan kelu. Nika gwase dane chaja kapchong. Akume kirma yadit jen foinde yoror yu bare which antame cha gurno men balat jeno be mobilization be jalare lo be ne ka diaten kontin gwen te gol beke gur jodan chalat gwaseme jowling yen mo gwaseme ata dan len ngwarudin keje biya kamal kanwa TV and wala ban roy ni ti ban ka linga ta dan ci ko ka je baro dan ci palpin ka leng den ko ke roy ni ti go leng ka go randa ro palpin ka. Tension is growing in Pij County, Jonglei State. Local people and leaders say there is military mobilization by forces that support detained first Vice President Dr. Riek Machar, the commander-in-chief of the SPLA-IO. Since the beginning of this year, South Sudan has seen more political violence, especially in the Upper Nile region. The fighting involved three groups: the SPLA-IO, which is the Sudan People Liberation Army in opposition loyal to Riek Machar; the Y Army, a militia made up mostly of young Nuer men; and the South Sudan People Defense Force, which is the National Army of South Sudan. Pij County is located in the far north of Jonglei State, where the Suba River meets the Nile River, just south of the town of Malakal. Matthew Matioglem, a member of the Jonglei State Legislative Assembly who represents Pij County, said that an attack could happen soon. He said that both in Pij County and in part of northern Upper Nile State, army groups are moving and preparing for war. He explained that the Y Army is mobilizing under the spiritual leader Makwai Tut. Matthew Lem said, "Our situation in Pij County is not good. People fear an attack is coming." The spiritual leader, Makwaitud, is calling youth in Ayut County to gather and attack Malakal, the capital of Upper Nile State. SPLAIO forces and the Y Army are already seen in areas like Mat and Konliet in our county. Their goal is to pass through Pij, move toward Malakal, and maybe fight with SSPDF soldiers on the way. This is why local people are afraid. He added that some civilians who live close to this military camp have already left their home to search for safety. Families are moving to other villages or to the bush because they are worried fighting could begin at any time. Local chief confirmed the tension. Paul Pur, the paramount chief of the area, also confirmed that the situation is becoming dangerous. He said, "Our situation was normal before, but in the last 2 days, news of Y Army mobilization has made people worried." The tension became even worse when SPLMIO named a new commissioner for Pij County. We do not yet know what this opposition appointed commissioner plan to do, and that make people afraid. Civil society groups are also warning about the growing insecurity. Bull Dengbul, a civil society activist and the executive director of Interpret South Sudan, spoke about the problem. He said the detention of first by President Riek Machar has created serious uncertainties across the country. Jonglei State is one of the worst affected. Every day we are seeing signs of military mobilization on the ground. Bull Dengbul added, "We do not know when the situation will get out of control. This is a political problem and it needs a political solution. We call for de-escalation, dialogue, and the release of Riek Machar and his allies." South Sudan has faced many years of political instability and violence. In 2018, the government and opposition signed a peace agreement. That deal was meant to end the civil war and bring peace. But today, even with the peace deal in place, new violence continues. The recent mobilization in Pij County show that the peace is still fragile and the future is uncertain. Pij County in Jonglei State is intense. The Y Army and SPLAIO are mobilizing in the area. Civilians are fleeing because they fear fighting. Local leaders and civil society are calling for dialogue, peace, and the release of detained Vice President Riek Machar. The situation is developing and we will continue to follow the story closely. En jowling yana gwasame, netin konti la kuma SPLAIO, ken chalado sharudin realika. Ene me chadwalme di chajenong antama rei wich ke Pij County. Pij County jen take a Jonglei State. Neti konen chengen winemi, la local people ken a leader. Larken no take de into one te dwal ken tema, tung one along till la netin konti la jukume SPLAIO. Neti Raike first by President Dr. Machar. Tigala do nene nika korgwa sedan. Keninte konte chiwe akana malte tene lo teleneriek. Dungdo anteme direkte ben gwase sha kwer Pij County chaja kwany. Akuma SPLAIO anteme chatogo no china tika dwal katin kono lat karodian. Dwal na ko ngai ka je gwango chinetin kontin lajechen bor kene dini SPLAIO wachi karodian mat rewich. Kadwa bran tigrian mat keje wa mat karodian alo gorkano biken kume SSPDF biken ka yuan mai ka jodana shalat. Kekan koninte konte shu chane ngaje gwano to kurm diteten. Kure chitu oktoga kam SSPDF kene Nuer Waihami ke SPLAIO. Gwada dana tika pangak. Chane jenen no chinetu ngwan chikariare re kurmo. Itat kana bishop ka gwele kela kentat ka gwele ne kan yal charuyen mat so chu kor mo chu to ga je ne ku ne to ngwan ku le ne ka je anteme chu to gun wona ne ti narin yo kamirial naru ne ka je la ne to konti la jiku mespela yo lo na to wa chika ngwan awa ken gor kan ode kan yirde kan ngokuch ko de ke de ne de kan ka mak wa kur ma gor kan ode kan oter na ka malakal ajen do badana dwal na ka je ne ti ngwan teme che dwal mu di te bana ka re wi ka malakal Masio Matiok Ramkel mela member ka Jonglei State Legislative Assembly jen wa chunga ka Pij County kela do ne jene gwe jen wo ba SSPD ba kama ka kor gwaten be ka gwan mi check alo bu kor bato kam SPLI wo kane SSPD yala do ne a jene Pij County kana no sena penal state wa army group wa real karudi ne ka both side SSPD amene SPLI wo kane Nuer wayami alo gwe jen wo bi kor bato ka kor gwaten be ke gwan mi check ka jo dana chalat Masio Lew lem shela do nene a jene situation nan te Pij County si magwa ne ti wanti na dwala tem kamanda nen be chala de nene Ramadala spiritual leader ma kwai tudi wa jene be wa jen chole ngwane ka Youth County eno real roduna ka bana malakal bana jamak ala capital of Afanal state wa ima kwach tut jaro yaleka alo be malakal be jakef ka jawdana chalat SPLIO forces and the Nuer army wa kan chika rodi yaleka already wa ka doron chalke mat kana konlet ka county dung malakal wa man gur kana wo gur kanu de kanu ke Pij de wo malakal wa ke jen do badan jelga ke wa de ke chunyen ke SSPDF anteme jen modwal net konte la local people wajen mukukan la dwal kaje ala kur jaten kam kume SPLIO kene kume SSPDF bada wa chengde je tiagalong Paul program kel mala paramount chief an gwas mone yala no situation we kamijaga a jen situation chechit kataye dan me normal anteme cherem na rode ke ken 2 day ti ko shanwer waya mi shakanen tiurin mobilize kacha dine SSPDF dine SPLIO chagan ci urin mobilize ka dine SSPDF boka kujimi warel karodi neka wado badan bika Nuer waya men gwas mo ke je jamboro cha kwer kwan kuma SPLIO la new commissioner dung Pij County wa kwai kamandan bro lat ka gwasen be so kwai kamandan kwa plan kuma SPLIO meka ne tibe malakal magala to ke chikana bamak Canadian County Civil Society Group wa chikan door chikana lar a krane mitwogan tamare wichen winimi ka Pij County ka panal gur kano de na de kan gwik ka kwide bol dem bolaram kel mila civil society activists Kajan executive director K interpret South Sudan spoke about the problem gur jano de ne to County South Sudan de karwach gwin mon de Dr. Machar de Jalunya la first by president Reng Machar a jana de Jaluny ko en yende a jan non kore katam ge jano buwoj ba ka civil war ka kujamo gorge jano de netin kon tin ya yen kel ke Dr. Machar kan dial de ka Jaluny ko bi mal baben kumu kana cha mal cha jang non kan ke cha Reng Machar cha Jaluny a jana kor mo ba de long ka ba dak pin re wech ka South Sudan kelio bul dang chala do na Queen no situation but togde. Komu situation we get out of control. Jana charge bulong kamo kam kajarar. But do brand de kapchonga jangore kana talk alone Dr. Machar. But right now ngode kan kim yadi tell me channel arke mishit kana mo. Ngai kona diala kon lat kurudi na tam ka Pij anokor jaten. Ban ngot changa dana ba yode. But chane it ngwan chakanen Nuer wayami SPLIO wakan dial chawren realika kamadana le roda gik kejen wo bi koromo batwo do joma de yenaling ler do diana ban lingwa same akui adut kirme yadit ka jodan chalat gwasame mgode ko dan palping ka liengde adut tane ngajino jan chaje kwanya la kwer jena kwer midit ngai konen wo kwinde te ka lot ko gwe jen o jen ba mal be jenung re wika so Sudan jen je ka cordial quartin content re wika so Sudan ye quartin dit neyti ngwan ya jen o biya dut ba mal be jenung ta dan gwe keje ko ngai ke jen o ba mal be jenung wa gur ke jen o de na chong kel keje no ci adut je ka tabande ngai Jek Kanyandeng, Jek Ka Joseph and Lagu. Ramadan ken gani jegatema. Edakring machar. Jen Jek Kene Bullmill. You know. Dwabdana kwengi jagwas me bana jeling. Nai kona adudu no naiting one. Tika ko be adut ba magwana jen ba jela rey wich. South Sudan right now right corner gwe jeno bela turning point re wika South Sudan mu weje la dagwa jana jome chan jemilin ka do bana chalat keje. The appointment of Adu Salva Kiir Mayardit as senior presidential envoy on the special program come at a very important time for South Sudan. The country is facing many problems, both political and social. For many years, people talk about development mainly in three ways: road, oil, and peace. Road connect town, oil give money to the economy, and peace brings stability. But all these things cannot last if the people are not healthy. People must be strong to walk on the road, to work in the oil field, and to enjoy peace. A new role is not just a title. It is a chance for the government to focus more on the health of the people. Development is not only about building roads, it is also about saving mothers and babies, building strong communities, and helping people live longer life. I did promise to support the building of 450 hospitals. This is a big promise and give people hope. It shows that the government wants health service closer to the people. But hospital alone cannot save life. They need workers, medicine, electricity, water, and system to run them. The country needs trained doctors, nurses, and midwives. The health system must be strong before new buildings are made. If not, hospital will be empty. For many years, the government focused more on roads. Roads are good for trade and travel, but while roads are built, many women still die when giving birth. Many babies die in their first days, and life expectancy is still low. South Sudan has one of the highest maternal deaths in the world. About 789 women die for every 100,000 births. Around 39 newborn babies die for every 1,000 births. Life expectancy is only about 55 years. These are not just numbers. They are families losing mothers, fathers, and children every day. The main killer in South Sudan are not strange disease. They are malaria, lung infection, diarrhea, and problem during childbirth. This can be treated and prevented, but the health system is too weak. Vaccination is also low, and many children do not get important vaccines like measles and polio. This makes children easy target for disease. And this is why Aduda appointment is very important. As the daughter of the President Salva Kiir Mayardit, she represents both family, leadership, and a new generation. Young South Sudanese want leader who put people first. Aduda has a chance to tell the government that health must be a national priority. In the past, health has been left mostly to international donors, but donor cannot be the main source forever. Their money is not always steady, and they choose to fund some diseases but not others. For example, they fund HIV, malaria, and TB, but not enough for maternal care or midwife. South Sudan must pay for its own health as a duty, not depend only on outsiders. One of the best plans the government already has is the Buma Health Initiative, BHI. It sends community health workers to village so that every family has access to basic care. Other communities like Ethiopia use this model and reduce death. South Sudan has the idea, but it needs government, money, and political will. Adut can push for this funding. If the government support BHI, hospital will not be overloaded and people will get care close to home. Adut can also support training of health workers and make sure money is protected even during economic crisis. She can push the ASK Foundation, Adut Self-Care Foundation, a run organization, to work with local group. Together, they can run projects like maternal homes near hospital or solar fridge for vaccine. These are small but powerful steps that can save life. A role should not replace the government, but if the government do better. Working with community group is very important because they understand local needs, where teamwork between government, communities, and the ASK Foundation, healthcare can improve. Other communities, other countries show that this is possible. Rwanda, Ethiopia, and Uganda all started from difficult situation, but they improved health by making it a priority. South Sudan can do the same if it spend money wisely and put health first. Adut appointment is a big chance. She can choose to be only a ceremonial envoy, or she can choose to change the nation. If she put health to the top of the agenda, she will leave a strong legacy. Development is not only about road and oil, it is about protecting life. A country with weak health cannot be strong. South Sudan must act now. Road connect town, but health connect people, dream and future. Adu de ramagwa, kajo wadana shalat kaje, kojan shaled along and our cut trade. Take a business na tungwan, chiremangai kona. Yatungwan along chakari aleka. Adud gwasa me jaraman nyaman gweken ojan bamal bejenong. Dubadana kwen kaje, awa kwen de she accident, charge plan a kir. Adudu ojan be correction be jelat ke kuma kirma yadit be mal be jenong ko be kirma yadit be je stop ko be wet be jadak jenta dana kwanke adut self kirma yadit jen cha kwanya la senior presidential envoy shere karam messenger mala jak ne je wala na me jen gwada kwanya je keje agwan be jelon ko gwan mutuna re kore na money amajak adut ko dunde bala very important kada diala kono gorke ngai kono tama South Sudan face a many problem jojente natin political and social ngai kono when king economic che jek ke kwi kor kono tore wika South Sudan ka ngam de gari aleka e kim yadit rundu wantana jenen anu ne dial kuna focus ko de dub de kalat de oil chike petroleum de jari aleka de mal derben ban ngai kono no tele do mishalat tele do du pain kuka na ko de na jal kam ne ken special ka trade dara gwalung ka kwinya gatka but can let that some places can go in content cha mo kengu ke chare tika gwadial ami kono kon ko oil and ande kon mo ke yo patel real mungun oil tan menu be ka peace pain gwaye ko deten but metelati dialati ci mal ci britain meken kirken wi de kon lat ko be mal be jalat kena dialati ke de deten but the woman di very important long wa kwi pole point so adut jala do be pole point be jagamen yam ke be je prioritize but gorbe jen wa du der mal der je ko non kam kwardial der da kama cha der jelun den dial ko ken kontin gorke jeno de na on yam der kalun so michit kana me waja ke South Sudan ko dara wonyam ya South Sudan chaje par ki Ethiopia ke Uganda ke Kenya can we dialati to kana met ko bika we to go alo misha dut foine misha ledo gwalo cha gwagwan chaje kedika waje ndara ma gwalo kadara tika credit mi ditalong no mo a kelm ge ken go da du dara jalat ko adut ge ke jen waram kelm gwa der tin jeg dial kono dong der ladan wana mo der kari alaka Jaga adut ko va very important person right now kata na ka jamana no adut ramkel mugoro de jogono lenete dial ko jen kune dial ku kan goro bana liyan ka jagatin kona balat no so malat ka adut gorga jen wojen ajel kan dial kan kwar ka goro no jen be mal bata wana ko ben malka a kel mugor ke long a wadar je prioritize en mal ko mal metel je telen balat no telen ba yigla ne a mal mi chegul tin je lat dia la kula lat ke je mon so metel mal tele way out so mal ba dilben and then mit dial bugorin kulu gor so adut kirme yadit mu leda gwa ba tin dial content ko advice ke je be keleng be jike dakring machar be jike ne dial ko kien nyu de jen wo jen poinde ba jaram nyam dan ba mu ke credit so der dial der kalat wana kelere me lere diana me reg mu choda lat re which Lake State tana jelinkel. We go to Lake State, South Sudan, where a tragic incident happened this week in Rumbek, East County. On Wednesday, a man died after a grenade explosion. At the same time, 3 soldiers were injured in the blast. Police say the man was supposed to be questioned by security forces. When soldiers approached him, he tried to use a hand grenade, but sadly, he mishandled it and it exploded, killing himself and injuring the soldiers. Major General Chola Tim, the police commissioner of Lake State, spoke about the event. He confirmed that 3 soldiers were hurt and only the man died. He explained that the man thought he had removed the safety pin and wanted to throw the grenade. Instead, it exploded too early. The police also say the man was a former army officer who had been living in the community for many years. He was wanted for questioning because of some allegations against him. Major General Atim warned civilians not to handle weapons such as grenades. He said grenades are only for trained soldiers. He reminded the public that having such weapons without training is dangerous and can cause loss of life. Community leader who reacted to the tragedy, Daniel Latkon, coordinator of the Community Empowerment for Progress organization, strongly condemned the incident. He advised people to follow the law whenever there is a problem. If someone is accused of a crime, it is better to let the law handle it. Latkon said he added that issues like poverty and stress can sometimes push people into dangerous actions. Latkon also urged the army and police to control weapons more strictly. He says soldiers should not take home grenade or rifle when they are off duty. Keeping military weapons at home increases the risk of accident and violence. As of now, the security situation in Rumbek East County is calm. Authorities said investigations are continuing. This tragic case is another reminder of how important it is to keep weapons away from communities and to solve disputes through peaceful and legal means. Ude shiro da naga kana gwasme jen aram kel mi mo misha cheka kan go jen te ke chegra radien misharwet me che chugu je no gor ke je a police ni choro shumo ke grenade ke bom me che ke ban dorne jen che jelep lebe che lebe jen che kuje no dor eto dar mal mar che jen tet kede me jen yo je mo chu marne gwasmo mi che maro choro de chunak ka che ne dang dok la police dang dok che ga chu bar no alo polin dang dok tene ken kabot ne me to kere Rumbek County Rumbek East County jen gwad dan togoten mi mashuda me che gorno jen boro ne kana kel anyok jen wacha je gwanya wajen e guk lede witchcraft ki nyin goka te togon dial waka te chaje ke je ko gur ke je ano de je nan ka police ka do bana chagui ke je lo le ti chodien lot re te ka mandan enteten chana lerme chana nyok malin kone gwad me chala do shane ti chop ka diok chakane kane ti chop ka wel ti shamu ka boti dit chana jalin kel do badan en to ka je re wich ka uror gwad me chireng mi di je tokten kam nuere karodian ka jodan shalat an yang na jakel. We start with a report from Uror County in Jonglei State, South Sudan, where violence has left 3 people dead and 10 others injured. This incident happened in Pij County on Thursday and Friday. Local officials have given detail of how the fighting started and how it became worse. According to Majok Shop, the information director for Uror County, the trouble began when some young people decided to follow cattle raider. These raiders are the stolen animal from the community. The youth wanted to recover the stolen cattle. They went after the raider, and during this operation, 1 person was killed Later, the young men returned home to Pattaya after recovering the animals. When they arrived back in town, they fired celebratory gunshot into the air. This was meant to celebrate their success in bringing the animal back. But instead of bringing happiness, the gunfire created fear and confusion in the nearby open-air market. People thought something serious was happening. One woman in the market reportedly saw the gunshot and quickly told a relative this action, according to officials, may have caused anger and suspicion. Very soon, arguments started between community members. Majuk Shop explained further. He said a resident of Pattaya went after the raider with other youths. They did succeed in bringing the cattle back, and nobody in that group was injured at the front line. However, later they discovered that one person had been killed during the raid. Shop said that the deaths may have been linked to tension with local youth from Pattaya Payam. Things did not stop there. The situation became worse when members of two families, the Shiang Kwan family and the Shiang Bur family, start fighting each other. They exchanged gunfire right inside the community. By 6 p.m. Thursday evening, authorities confirmed that 2 more people were dead, a girl from the Shiang Kwan side and a man from the Shiang Bur side. In addition to the 3 deaths, 10 people were injured in the fighting. From the Shiang Bur family, 6 people were hurt, 5 men and 1 woman. From the Shiang Kwan family, 4 people were injured. Local officials have now launched an investigation into what happened. They are also asking the people to remain calm and to avoid more violence. Majuk Shop say that the community must work together and stop misunderstanding before they turn into deadly clash. Meanwhile, peace advocates have also spoken out. Termanyang, the executive director of the Center for Peace and Advocacy, condemned the violence strongly. He said these young people are supposed to be the future leader of South Sudan, but instead, lives were lost because of revenge and gun. He called on the government and local leaders to make sure there is justice for the victims and their families. Termanyang say justice must prevail not only for the sake of those who died, but also for the future of the nation. We need young citizens who are respectful, who follow the law, and who are ready to live peace. This tragic event shows how quickly celebration can turn into violence when guns are involved. What began as a successful cattle recovery operation ended with 3 deaths, 10 injuries, and more pain for families in Pattaya Payam. Authorities are urging everyone in Jonglei and across South Sudan to put down their weapons, solve disputes peacefully, and work together for security. For now, the situation in Pattaya Payam is reported to be calm, but communities are being asked to stay alert and avoid more fighting. We will keep following this story and bring you updates as soon as new information come in. Jolingen magwasame ring mujitore weka Pattaya Payam. Gwami moche teke ngwane tishi oku gor konentin kon tin cho ken match. Kalundian jogan gwazmo chicken noktin konen chanang chicken ko lo jok. Michiga chuba gwami chika market ka Pattaya Payam ka Uror County. Chuken me chuken ka dwanyal. Mete chicken ka dwanyal ngwasmo wate ga shekel mishe chungoj cheola nan we chukorcheben. And wenamo a wachu korcho chuok ajen dobran tuok kor ka chwa nei ti chuko diok chwa kan nagan gwenamo ka chwa nei ti chuko wel chwa mu ka bot ka ken nei ti konen chikor mater la kurbe che chu tuk dueli jo tuk duel mudadien kan tuk duel mudadien re wishin binami ko cho tuk duel ngwadamo chukor mo wacho bech ka bech medit jeremen chalen ngwadame an kudana ji tuok re wikuror County ka ta danan chi Shiang Kwan family kana Shiang Bur family shigarum kaje chukor mo chu to kamdien and wena mone chwane dogo chwa mo ka chwayu nak kane dangwel nyam nyal cha nyam kel nak ka Shiang Kwan no ka cha wunit ko ken ke cha uta nak ka Shiang Bur karam dana cha nak gwa dan wa ko nongten timishir na me cha tuok alo ne diok chiga liu kane dangwel te ka bot tidit so na me a disagreement ana chitu ko cha me cha ka dwanya cha nganyo dong chu kor cheben bane de kon la ngene wate na lodien kon do roma kam ngandi o jakarodien gwada dana cha ok cha nangten so na me a me sure lat re wichin binami no kan konuniam me jirama jidit kan online TV channel ken wa TV gorjen go jender nam de nyani ko ken chuje peru jino jin be subscribe ko be ler kon ba no gwasme be kan cha mala shibkeje nyen gwadan bana chokten en biate kamal bye bye